Read Leviticus 20 and 13, man. It's an abomination. It's an abomination unto God. It's a lie. You want to know what's a lie? What we've been taught today in America. That's a lie. Read Leviticus 20 and 13, man. We're going to be here, and guess what? We ain't going no goddamn where, man. That's our corner right now. And we own this corner. Read Leviticus 20 and 13. Read.
This is the book of Leviticus, chapter 20, verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind.
Read it again.
If man also lie with mankind.
I know today in America, they teach it's okay for a man to lie with another man. It's okay for a woman to lie with another woman. But this is what God's saying. If a man lied with mankind, read.
As he lied with a woman.
As what?
He lied with a woman.
Why is he saying as he lies with a woman? Why? Because a man was created to lie with a woman. A woman was created to lie with a man. So where's we getting this LGBTQ from? It comes from the devil, man. It's a lie. It is not of God. You got it.
Hey, man, listen. You heard when your page said there is no God. There ain't no God, but what? When you live a homosexual lifestyle, what does God reward you with for living that lifestyle? Right. You big dummy. AIDS. Give me Romans 1 and 25. You the white man that pushed his culture over the top of black people, and now we out of our goddamn mind. Like you seen that brother right there dancing half naked. Anybody, the white man is a damn disease. You understand? Anytime you follow anything that the white man do, you gonna go out of your mind. And black people, we are out of our mind trying to follow white people, man. The white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Everything about him is demonic, man. Fuck you right back. Fuck you too. You understand? Got the nerve to have them. Fuck you too. Fuck America. Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck everybody. I can't wait for the day that you devil go and change. You deserve it. Yeah, read what you got.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25.
Go ahead.
Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
For what?
Changed the truth of God into a lie.
Who? Can I get the picture of white Jesus, please? Who changed the truth of God into a lie? Where you at? You understand? This is who changed the truth of God into a lie. This is Caesar bullshit. His homosexual lover is the one that painted him. You understand? This is what we're following right here. The white man changed the truth of God into a lie. He said the real Jews was white. We found out they was black. You said Jesus was white. We found out Jesus was a nigga according to the Bible. God damn it. And he stood for righteousness, man. He ain't standing for no man getting in the bed with another man. What in the hell you doing? Your penis getting hard, putting it up the rectum of another man. You got a demon on you, man. And where did you get that demon from? Christianity. The religion of Satan. The Christian church, the house of Satan. Catholic Church, the house of Satan. Read.
Don't come. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
Go ahead.
And worshiped and served the creature more than the creator.
Search the creature. The creature's the white man. That's who you serve. You definitely ain't serving the creator. The creator does not allow a homosexual lifestyle.
That's right.
How we gonna make babies? If you're a homosexual out there, get me right on this. If all men sleep with men and all women with women, how are we gonna populate the earth? Somebody help me. Read.
Don't come. Verse 26. For this cause God gave them up unto vile affection.
Gave them up to what?
Vile affection.
Woman with woman, vile affection. Man with man, vile affection. See, when you come up here today, you're going to get the truth today. You might not like it. You might not agree with it, but nevertheless, it's the truth. Why do homosexuals get AIDS? It's God's judgment. Give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 6. Y'all gonna find about the real God today. Y'all teach God is all love. Please.
Let me show you how diabolical the white man is. When we talk about homosexuality, the reason why the white man is a natural homosexual, it's been in his nature since he was created. How many people heard of a term called pederasty? Y'all don't know what pederasty is? Look up the history of the Romans. Pederasty was when the white man would take that little white boy and sleep with him till he was about 14 or 15, maybe 16. And you know what he would do? Throw him away and get another little boy. You know how that translates to 2025? Look at the Roman Catholic Church. How many of those pastors how many of those priests are molesting little boys that they find out where they're giving out millions and millions of dollars to victims of child molestation? Because the white man is a natural homosexual. Right. You know why? You know why when black men become homosexual, you know why they look so indifferent? Because that demon doesn't sit on them right. So when a black man becomes a homosexual, he looks real effeminate. When the white man is a homosexual, he look like a school teacher. He looked like the police officer. He looked like the boxer. He looked like the average everyday worker, like the white men you see out here today. You will be surprised if I said, white men, raise your hand if you're homosexual. Raise your hand. The only one raised it. I guarantee you 90% of the white men in here are closeted homosexuals, but you'll never know it. That brother that's out here dancing like a lunatic, that demon don't sit on him. That demon don't fit on him. That's why he got to come out here, dance parade, get naked in front of kids, because we're not meant to be like the white man. That's his disease. That's his problem. And the more we take it, that's why we get destroyed. That's the point of us being out. Go back to Romans when it said who turned the word of God into a truth. Because you know who's the most aggressive? That LGBTQ. Because it's not enough. And you can't even say that it's just a lifestyle. When a gay man, if a gay man just wanted to sleep with a gay man, we should never even know about it. Right. Nobody knows the wives that I have sex with. Everybody think I got 50 wives right now. Everybody. Nobody. You know why? Because it's nobody's business who I sleep with. That's right. But the gay community has to force you to accept who they sleep with. Right. They have to force you to accept to play Halloween every day. Right. A transgender comes in front of me, I got to call him a woman or a trans man. I have to play make-believe with a person that if I walked out here with a cop's uniform on, I couldn't arrest none of y'all. But I would tell y'all, but I'm a police officer. I believe that I'm a police officer. So let me arrest you. You wouldn't let me. But a gay man that comes out here dressed like a woman, I have to accept him, or you'll lose your job. Right. You'll lose your service. You'll lose whatever fame that you have will go away the minute you speak against the white man's homosexuality. That is not a black man. There's no black organization that's actively pushing to be homosexual. And you know where all of that stems from? From my community? Child molestation. Right. If you support strippers, you support child molestation. That's right. You go into that strip club, those are women that have been molested. Those are women that have been runaways, and now some pimp came and seduced them to sell their body, and they become lesbians and whores, and just like, that's America. America has no morality. Hold on, it's like, read that first.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 25. Who changed the truth of God into a lie?
That's why we got to come out here. Because the white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And I know when we say that, y'all think of some guy with a pitchfork, some guy that's in hell, like burning you in a pot or something like that. But the word devil just means deceiver. Right. Who has lied more than the white man? That's right. Y'all tell me. The white man said he discovered America. How? When the Native Indians was here. The Taino Indians was here. Right. The Mexicans was here. Right. Long before they was here. The white man said, this is Jesus Christ. Right. Y'all take a good look at this image. Y'all, how many in here believe in God? No matter what. Just raise your hand. Ain't nobody gonna attack y'all. Don't be afraid. The white girl believes in God. You believe this is Jesus? Yeah, do you believe that this is Jesus Christ? You do, right? But this is a lie. Right. This is a white man by the name of Caesar Borgia. Right. And you know what he used to do? Have sex with his sister. Have sex with Leonardo da Vinci that painted this image of Jesus Christ. That's how disgusting the white man is. Right. Just think about this for a second. The white man wants y'all to believe that this is Jesus. You got to pray to this image. But the image that they made of the greatest man that ever lived is an image of a man that was a homosexual and was into incest. And was a murderer. That's your Jesus. And in the name of this Jesus, he enslaved blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And you wonder why we call the white man the devil. I am amazed in 2025 how black people, Hispanic people can still trust the white man. Y'all tell me, what you holding? Give me Revelations 18:4. How can you still trust the white man in 2025? That's what I'm trying to understand. Where there's ICE, you know the only reason blacks hate Mexicans is because the white man told you to. What did the Mexicans ever do to black people? Illegal or legal? What did Puerto Ricans ever do to black people? Nothing. What did Dominicans ever do to black people? Nothing. You show me the history of Mexicans enslaving and taking away the identity of black people. Show me the Native Indians doing it. And then I'll show you the history of the white man doing it to you. You know the state of Texas? The state of Texas used to belong to Mexico. And when the slavery was being abolished, the Mexican in the early 1800s, the president of Mexico would not allow slavery in Texas. That's why you have the Alamo. The Alamo is the Mexicans fighting for black people. But they won't teach you that in history. They'll teach you that the Mexicans just hate black people. No, the white man hates black people. Because if the white man really loved black people, when the Mexican governor said we abolishing slavery, they would have left Texas to Mexico. They only took Texas from Mexico because the Mexicans didn't want black people to be enslaved. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Read Revelation 18:4.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
Do what?
Come out of her, my people.
When you living in America, God is telling you to come out of her. What does that mean? Does that mean move to another country? No. Does that mean move to another continent? No. But it does mean move your spirit out of this place.
Right.
You know there's a Chinatown in almost every city? And China lives like China. Even though they're in Brooklyn, even though they're in Queens, even though they're in Jersey. Yeah, cats and
dogs.
They catch their cats and dogs. They live like China, even though they're in America. Why do y'all think it's a problem when black people want to be black in America?
Right.
Why do y'all think that's a problem? Anybody know the answer to that?
That's right.
Because if you can understand that, you'll understand why you got to come out of America. So I'll give you some more history. In the early 1900s, they so-called freed the slaves in the late 1800s. And then you had what's called Jim Crow. You had the 13th Amendment being enacted where if they locked you up as a criminal, they could enslave you. But also during that time, you had the greatest cities to be built by black people. You had your Wall Street, Seneca Village. This Washington Square Park belonged to black people. You know why I don't? Because the white man unalived them and took your park. Central Park. They had a section called Seneca Village up in Central Park. And when they wanted to expand it, they just kicked out the black people that lived there so that they could expand that park. But we kept building. We built you know why they call them HBCUs, historical black colleges? Because we ain't had a college since Jim Crow. So how could we build the cities, the hospitals, the banks, the airstrips? How could we build them during Jim Crow? How could we build them during segregation, but we can't do it now?
Right.
You know why? Because back then we wasn't trying to integrate. Back then we didn't want the white man's education, we wanted our own. We didn't want the white man's system, we wanted our own. We didn't want white love, we wanted our own. And then somebody came along and convinced us otherwise. Y'all know who that was? You know where I'm going. Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King came and said, fuck your stores. Fuck your business, fuck your family, fuck your education, because the white man was better. That's what he said. And he said, I feel like I'm leading my people into a burning house. Last time I checked, you don't go into a burning house to live, you go into a burning house to die. So at best, if Martin Luther King says he's leading us into a burning house, shouldn't at best we say, before we go into the house, let's put the fire out? Or let's not go into the house at all? Thank you, sister. I appreciate it. Why haven't we learned this lesson? Read that part again.
Come out of her, my people.
Keep going.
That ye be not partakers in her sins.
Okay, keep going.
And that ye receive not of her plagues.
So God tried to warn us of receiving the plagues of this white man. You know what one plague is? AIDS. AIDS is a plague that you get when you become a homosexual.
Right.
AIDS is a plague that you can get when you shooting up drugs and sharing them needles. Being number one in the prison system is a plague that you can get when you try to be a criminal like America, because America has no morality.
Right.
Everything that America got came from some form of bloodshed.
Right.
That's why there's no rules. If the white man wants a piece of your land, he makes up something and takes it.
Right.
If a white man wants your city, he makes up something and takes it. And when we try to live like him, now we get the same plagues as them. That's why we get it the worst. We get it the worst because God gave us the rules that we're supposed to live by.
Right.
And God never said to live like the white man. God never said to be a homosexual like him, to be a sexual deviant like him, to be a drug addict like him, to be a drug dealer like him, to be a murderer like him. But we do it. Keep reading.
For her sins have reached unto heaven.
Her sins have reached all the way up to heaven. That's why you see everything happen. That little white devil that came over here talking about Palestine, we don't care about Palestine either.
Right.
We don't care about Palestine or the Israelis. But the reason why that's a concern, the reason why y'all looking at Trump, the reason why y'all looking at Russia, because y'all see the third world war coming.
Right.
Chose you know, us, black and brown people, to be his people. It makes you look at life different. You know what I'm saying? It makes you look at what and who you are and what you was put on earth to do. That's the whole reason I'm in the ISUPK right now. You know what I'm saying? Rtot Ep.151. And of course, and if Christ chose me to be his chosen people, then I gotta ask myself a question. Why am I in the world hating my brother? You know what I'm saying? When the scripture says Zephaniah 2:1 say gather yourselves together. And another thing is, why was I, if you know me and know my personal walk in the world, then I live a whole totally different life than what I'm doing now. So black history to me is everything. I'm doing what I'm doing now just to show the Lord that, look, I'm sorry for what I did in the past. You know what I'm saying? I repent from that and I don't do that no more. And now I'm just hoping that he look at me in my life and choose to overlook what I've done in the past and say, okay, this brother put me in work and helping to raise up schools and raise up his people. You know what I'm saying? You read the book of the Maccabees brothers, and these brothers refused to sin. They refused to eat that pork. You know what I'm saying? That give you a spirit of warriorship. You know what I'm saying? I always had that spirit, but I was using it towards something else. You know what I'm saying? I was using it against my brothers and my sisters. You know what I'm saying? And you read certain things in the Bible, like when Eleazar, he ran towards an elephant and killed the elephant, but it had the Persians that was up on top. You know what I'm saying? And he killed himself. You looking like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like the spirits that the Most High put on us. I could understand how now that when you look at black and brown people in the world, how they are the way they are, is because they got that spirit of warfare, but they don't have the knowledge of the Lord. So when you take the knowledge of the Lord with that spirit of warfare and you use it towards what you want, towards what the Most High asked you to use it for, then man, we can be unstoppable. You know what I'm saying? You can see the ISUPK, we growing and growing every day. You know what I'm saying? You see brothers getting raised up to troopers and officers every day. That means the Lord really with this place. You know what I'm saying? Satan tried to destroy this place a couple times. You know what I'm saying? Since 1969, the ISUPK been here, been standing strong under command of General Yohana. And so I'm just happy to be a soldier in the Lord's army. You know what I'm saying? Black history in the Bible is, you know what I'm saying, everything to me, because the Most High could have done away with us and and chose not, you know what I'm saying, not to be with us for us sinning. And now that I got a chance to help build the Lord's army and become something and someone and show my kids, you know what I'm saying, teach them something different. Man, I can't, you know what I'm saying, I can't ask for nothing more than that. You know, I'd be ungrateful to ask to be something, you know what I'm saying? So I know I ain't got the most money. I ain't in the best position in life right now here in America. But like the scriptures say, even though you are poor, you are rich because of who you are, because of what blood runs through you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful, you know, very grateful. And me personally, I had to step outside of the truth. Why I even was caught with a handgun and did some time in jail. You know, went through there and taught as well. You know what I'm saying? So the truth is everything to me. You know, anywhere I go, I understand that when I got that oil poured on me, you know what I'm saying? Like when I went to jail, I'm like, man, I'm still a priest. I still gotta raise this yard up out here. And you know what I'm saying? That made me feel better with myself. You know what I'm saying? And man, just being a part of this priesthood, you know what I'm saying? This priesthood, this army, you know what I'm saying? What we building right here on earth, because you know this is what heaven would be anyway, right here on earth. So we building our army right here, the Lord's army, and we just, you know what I'm saying? I'm just happy and grateful that the Lord has chosen me, you know what I'm saying, to be one of the people who, you know, help do this. Scriptures say that, you know, the work is plenty, you know what I'm saying, but it's not many workers. I'm, you know, paraphrasing or whatever. I'm just glad to be one of the workers.
It appears that Iran is not just going to be like, oh, yo, y'all got us. We love y'all now. Pick our leader. They're like, fuck y'all niggas. They've bombed about everybody in the Middle East. Okay, they're just shooting bombs.
A black Marine or a black whatever in the white man's military, that make them want to kill you more. Mm-hmm. Like when they see the uniform on you, they get an extra disdain for you. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't understand why in the hell do you want to fight for them.
Cared enough about your trials and tribulations, the things that you suffered through, and how to get out of that. That's your history. You don't need a white man to have no remembrances for it.
Yeah, if you chastise the child too hard, oh, you creating trauma. Yeah. If you don't say nothing to the child, then you making them soft. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't no way for a black man to be right even when he is in the
white people that's out there that want to help black and Hispanic people, the best thing you can do is just leave us the hell alone.
They are all against you. They all want to destroy you, and the ultimate goal of all of them is to put you back into slavery and subjection.
Real Nigga University in 5, 4, 3, 2, let's get it. 1.
All right, clap it up. Saying we got another episode of the Round Table of Truth. As always, every Friday, you understand, under Community and Jenna and Hannah. So what we're going to do is, as always, we're going to run it down the chain on why we're even able wicked thing that exists.
Right.
You understand? No one wants to be virtuous or wants to be faithful to the Lord and do everything the Lord says with a great zeal. The only thing that people in America have is a great zeal for evilness and whoredoms and vile, disgusting acts. Come on, Yard. I see you already getting it in.
Nah, yeah, the one because the reason why, man, because when you said that, it made me think about something, man. Because I've been hearing a lot of these Christians lately, man, and it's a disgusting thing when you Christians constantly try to push the issues that y'all push. Y'all want, you know what I'm saying, Jesus to be the most high so bad, just so you can not feel guilty about the filthy sins that you commit on this earth, and you know what I'm saying, and how you live your life. And another thing out of one that they push nowadays, and they've been doing this for the longest, so I shouldn't even say nowadays, but they push the narrative that you being saved, you know what I'm saying, and following the law, like you're saying, following what God wants us to do. They say it like it's a negative thing for you to try to try to do that. For you to try to follow the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High, they make that into an evil thing.
Right. You say it is so heavy. It's like we've been in America being oppressed by the so-called white man for 400 plus years. But you turn around, you go to the Christian church, and people, when they talk about serving the Lord and following all of his laws, they look at that as oppression.
Right.
Like, because the Lord told us don't eat this for your health, that's oppression. Because the Lord said don't put your rod into another man's behind so you don't get HIV, that's oppression.
Right.
You understand? So you can't chop off your genitals and put new ones on, that's oppression. You understand? That's the disgustingness of this world.
Damn right.
And that's the Christian church. That's what they feed. And the so-called white man's agenda is to make us think serving the Lord is a form of oppression.
Oh,
you understand? That free will movement nonsense that they always say.
Right.
You understand? It's my life. It's my truth. All that nonsense they like to tell us. You understand? That makes us look at the Lord as an enemy.
Right.
You understand? When they hear, oh, I can't eat shrimp, crab, pork, or lobster. You know, I can't kiss my brother or sister in the mouth at this point. You understand? I can't go, what else they do? I can't go be a thief. I can't be in there in SA-ing children's with the Epsteins. Right. You understand? I can't go do none of that. That right there means I'm oppressed. Yeah, that's the evilness of this world. The Lord's laws and how to be a better person, it makes you oppressed. You understand? So what I do, go ahead, Ramon.
I was just gonna say, I told Cap, I know Cap put a stat up earlier, and I said this about I actually said it about Christianity and America, how they want you to love everybody and love your neighbor, but they, you know, of course we're gonna talk about this later, but they go over and bomb every single thing possible. You know what I'm saying? And they accept some of the most vile things, but they want you to, you know, love your neighbor, you know, and they don't. It just show you that Christianity shows you how America utilizes the Christianity for its wickedness and how it uses us to keep us subservient to America. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us being having the Most High as our father, a lot of our people, they take America as their father. That Christianity teaches them that America is your daddy. That's why I say in God we love, and God we trust. All of that stuff is to bond Christianity with the white man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just heavy that you bring it out. There's a lot of stories that's going to even dive even more into that we're doing today. So
yeah, and if America and look at our communities, right? You see how we're prominent in gun violence, as you know. You understand, because of the oppression and all the evilness the white man is flooded into our neighborhoods, the crack cocaine, the guns. You understand, the tearing fathers of the black homes, and now we just dogs upon each other. You understand, but at the same time, we're all flooding the church. You understand? It was from the 1980s. It was $420 billion. That was like a decade ago. You understand? That number has definitely risen. You understand? But that same Christian church tells us turn the other cheek, love our neighbor, forgive our brothers, and all that. But where is it? Where's the forgiveness? Where is the turning with the so-called turning the other cheek? You understand? They say it all the time. They say it. They say they faithful and they love it. But at the same time, we shooting each other, serving each other drugs. You understand? Murdering each other's loved ones and everything like that. I'm not just saying that about us. That's just the earth. That's America in a whole. And that's the hypocrisy of this place. They say one thing, but make sure that they propagate one thing, but everyone on the earth is doing the exact opposite. But that's not frowned upon. Frowned upon is I'm gonna love you truly like I love myself. I'm not gonna sleep with your wife. I'm not gonna steal your money. You know, that's frowned upon. You understand? We see it all the time everywhere we go, man. Tell them, like I say it all the time to the people I slave with, man. I can loan this brother $500, and I know for a fact I'll get it back. I'll never give anyone in my life that much money and think they'll actually give it back. But they're the loved ones. You're supposed to build this connection for 30, 40, 50 years, right? Why can't you trust them like that? Because that's not what makes you family. What makes you family is when you're serving the Lord and following his law, statutes, commandments.
That's right.
And that's what Christ said, ain't it? Christ said, who's my brother, who and my mother? The ones that's standing with me and following the will of the Lord. And that's what people don't understand in today's society. So we still haven't even talked about the little junk we were going to talk about, the Chat GPT. You understand? Someone want to break that down since I feel like I'm being long-winded right now?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Man, Lamar, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. This brother, man. This brother, I guess, he a former football player.
I think he just got drafted.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I believe he was just getting drafted to the Jets.
Oh, he just got drafted?
That's one of the two. He was an NFL player for the Jets.
He an NFL player, well, rather, formerly now.
Yeah.
He but I guess he had put hands on his woman, you know what I'm saying, and she was unconscious, had even stabbed her up a little bit. And reached out to Chat GPT to try to get an alibi
counsel.
He getting counseled by Chat GPT how to approach, the police about his rib being unconscious in their house.
You understand? We laughing up here. We're not laughing because what happened to the lady is a crime. It's definitely unjust. No one should ever have to suffer a fate like that. But we're laughing because the foolishness of our people believes that we can go to Chat GPT, an AI system, and ask them how to avoid getting arrested for the unaliving I just committed. You understand? Go ahead, IG.
Nigga thought he was in a movie.
Right. Like this is like he thought he was escaping the Matrix or something.
Go
ahead.
If I may, I know I ain't the only one that see this. I could be talking to somebody about what I'm gonna eat
fact.
on face. I could be on Facebook and say, man, I'm gonna get me a pizza tonight.
Yep.
And a bunch of ads gonna come down my Facebook about pizza. That what makes you think if that happens that they don't when you put something on Chat GPT that they can go back and figure that out. That's the ignorance of it. Like this kid went to college. Like went to college and everything, and he don't understand that what technology is for today. I mean, come on.
You understand? That's Robo, you hit it on the head. Like we always talk about, the white man tracking us, and everyone wants to make a joke about it. But then, like you said, you play one video on your TikTok of, let's say, weightlifting or eating some pizza or something. That's every video for the next 50 slides. You understand? Have you ever been just talking to another brother about this? And then you go to Google, you type in the first letter, and that's the first thing that pops up.
Right.
That's like, come on, you can't be foolish enough, which obviously this brother was.
Right.
You understand? He fell for the simplicity of the world. Like this world is it's not confusing. It's really not. But because of the Christian church, because of the white man's propaganda and how much he controls the airways, he's made this place seem like it's just super hard to navigate through. It's really not. You understand? Get a job. You understand? Find someone that you love. Put your rod in it. Make some kids. Be happy. Follow the Lord. That's ABC 1, 2, 3. You understand? But the Lord makes it, he jumps from A to Q to B to L and M. And that's why he has the LGBTQ community. Like conglomerates of random letters because he's a random guy. But this brother, it's sad. Yeah. That he I believe it was a white girl.
It looked like
she might be Latina.
Looked like she might be Latina.
She might be a sister.
Gabriella.
Probably. With that name, she definitely a sister. IG.
So I'm just assuming, once he asked Chat GPT that, I'm assuming the AI said, "Let me contact the police department. This nigga tripping."
If I
Go
could.
ahead.
So he tries to word it in a fashion like, like he found her, you know what I'm saying? Like he found her when he woke up, you know what I'm saying? That he trying to talk to the police about it, but ChatGPT is he talking to him like a dummy, you know what I'm saying? Like the computer is talking back to him like you like, okay.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry, don't even stress it.
We gonna get her up out of here.
Right. I'm gonna show you exactly how to handle this. You know what I'm saying? As they contacted the police.
Oh, damn. Imagine you getting played by a robot is saying, "Oh, don't worry, I got you.
Right.
Just calm down. You won't get caught." At the same time, the sirens at your door, man, that's a shitty situation. But that's the thing is that we need to just stop being that right there. Obviously, was probably due to emotionality. The brother was probably over emotional and ended up doing something and letting his anger in that brief moment cloud his judgment as a man, which is what happens to the majority of people that commit crimes, is that they let their emotions take over their intuition and their proper judgments.
If I could, sir.
Go ahead, and then I got you.
You go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and even that act itself is not predominantly in the black neighborhood. That's what white men do when they get mad at their wives. They go and unalive them, unalive the kids, and then take themselves out even sometimes. So just us taking on that spirit of the white man, this is something that becomes prominent now with black men who marry white women or outside their race or anything like that, or even have money. They gain that same mentality that the white man has, and then you can see in incidents like this that the white man's spirit is inside of him because of the fame and the money and everything that he's gathered in his time being in football.
Because I don't want you hitting it so hard in the head. It's like you going into the future about the topic we about to get into. Nah, but that's how it works.
Right.
But go ahead, Yardan. What do you want to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what the brother was saying because he was right. Like you said, he's right on point, and it does line up to a lot of what the lineup is because saying people believe that saying just because you have saying money and success and so-called success, saying because you got to look at saying what this world views as success. If you think about it. Saying anybody would say that R. Kelly lives a successful life, P. Diddy lives a successful life, saying Jeffrey Epstein, he lives a very successful life if you look at it from America's standpoint, but we gotta start looking at things and have and the morality that you deal with and these young kids that's coming into all of this fame and this money and they don't have no proper leadership on how to use these things is how you end up with situations like this where somebody murdered because they don't know how to deal with the emotions and the damage that they done picked up, saying all these years on earth with no leadership, no guidance. All they have done is put they all into being great at playing football or basketball or something like that.
And what you're saying is so heavy. Last point on the matter is that this society has taught us to coddle the ones that have these issues.
Right.
You understand? You see how much protection these individuals get nowadays, especially when it comes to the so-called white man, his children. Anything he does, they'll make it say, "Oh, he had a hard life," or "He's mentally unstable," and all this and all that. You understand? But these people in the society are becoming more of a protected class. The same way you have the rainbow community. They are the most, besides the Jewish man, they're the most protected people in America. You understand? You're not allowed to say anything against them or it's a hate crime. You understand? And that's what this place is coming to is they won't hold anyone accountable for crimes they commit as long as they make the proper excuse. If you're not black, at least. You understand? Some will definitely get through the cracks because they got to try to make it look like it's a fair country. But that's just how the world works. But
so like,
go ahead.
Can I just go through some of the questions? Got some of the chat GP questions he actually asked. Right?
Good.
And just in case some people want to
go
listen.
ahead,
Okay, Khan Khan. This says, according to evidence represented by Hamilton County District Attorney, Lee used the moniker Alexander and referred to the AI as Ali. So these are specific inquiries right here. She isn't waking up or responding. What do I do? Was one of them. Another one is I wake up and she has 2 swollen eyes. I didn't do anything, self-inflicted. She stabbed herself, slit her eye. This is another one. He asks if injuries like stab wounds, like punctures, could be caused by hitting anything or falling in the shower. And another one, he said, what should I tell my friend to handle someone not responsive but wants to call the police? So these questions
real.
Go ahead,
can't nobody be that stupid. I don't know if that's possible. The brother literally just told on himself by speaking to a robot.
He said she has 2 black eyes. I don't know how it happened. she stabbed herself in the eye. Come on.
So like they gave one response from the AI. It said prosecutors noted that ChatGPT AI response included a suggestion on what to say without framing it as a police trouble. So they asked afterwards, basically, do you want me to say this without it, trouble being a police trouble?
Right.
So basically playing them the whole time. It was notifying the police the whole time.
Like he's not the victim in the scenario, obviously.
Right.
The poor sister that was unalived is the victim, but I feel sorry for the brother because that's how dumbed down we became in this place. But I'm not gonna stay on this topic too long because I want where's the first real topic?
We going to Ali and MLK saying they still brothers. Of course, we know one was pro-black and the other one was come together.
Yeah.
But yet and still they called each other brothers. So we got the video.
Ajit.
What did you discuss back in the hotel room?
Nothing. Just
14.
friends, just like Khrushchev and Kennedy and everybody. When the people, all of the politicians of all other white races come together, and although they believe different, they think different, whites can come together and discuss the common cause. But whenever a few of us come together, the world is shook up. And I say, whatever went back there is our business.
Reverend King, do you agree?
Oh, yes. We had a very good discussion on many matters. And of course, these are not things that we would discuss here, but we do have common problems and common concerns. And above all, as Muhammad Ali has just said, we are all victims of the same system of oppression. And even though we may have different religious beliefs, this does not at all bring about a difference in terms of our concerns.
Still brother.
He did not agree with Muhammad Ali at all. He did not agree with him whatsoever because Muhammad Ali made sure to start off saying what? White people have their problems, we have our problem. Martin Luther King tried to make it all of us have the same problems and issues. But go ahead, anyone?
If I could, one thing that I did take away from this, is, that brothers at that time, and it was a different time in life. But in this time, they still understood the oppression, to a certain degree. That the black people does need to come together at some point or another. Right now, brothers are just too emotional. You believe so much in Allah and you believe so much in, white Jesus so much that we can't even put these things aside and understand that our community need us to have these discussions on how to fix the problems in our community above, the differences we have in the Bible and the Quran and all these different things. And that's what anybody should take away from even these brothers right here, even though we know this was probably it for them. But if we can learn from that and just sit down at the table and not get all in your emotions all the time and just try to do something for the community, then we can probably accomplish some things in our community.
Right. Yeah, what you're saying is so heavy. I want to give a big shout out to Captain Kaposh out in Indianapolis. We were out there not too long ago, and what he's setting up out there in Indianapolis is the Neighborhood Watch, I believe, where he's bringing upon different factions of Black, Hispanic, Indians out there. Of course, the Israelites that the Lord calls us to be, and making sure we can actually just sit down and try to work on the communities, even with the differences that might come.
Damn right.
You understand? Sometimes we got to put it to the side because the nation is more important than our individual thoughts, at least right now. In time and seeing the community grows, they'll start to see which one of the organizations or whatever the case may be is following in the right way, like the right path. You understand? Because like the scriptures say, let's not two walk together unless they not be agreed. I feel like I butchered that just now. But you see where I'm going. Like eventually the differences are going to subside and one faction is just going to kind of merge into the other faction as long as the end goal is the right goal. You understand? But a lot of people, they too prideful and greedy to set their organizations aside and merge with another one because they don't want to lose that power and authority they used to have, especially when it comes to coming into the school.
That's right.
Coming to the school, the power you used to have in whatever faction you used to have,
Right.
that's gone. You understand? You can be a young man J, a young man F. It doesn't matter. You're going to be told to pick up crates, shut the F up, read, all that good stuff the same way we all had to do. And if the Lord wants to see you back in the place of power, you'll get raised up like you get raised up. You understand? Look, we had Office of 5,000. My y'all get raised up last week because the Lord saw fit that brother deserved higher power than what he had previously. And that's all it takes. Your dedication to the Lord is what gives you power, not the money, not the congregation, not the followers, none of that. What gives you power is the Lord and his laws. You understand? As long as you in the UPK, that's period. Go ahead.
If I may, just to piggyback off what you're saying, and that's why the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hana, we don't affiliate with nobody else, because when you affiliate yourself with other people, then you're allowing them their ideas to be joined with what God told us not to do or told us to do. And the one thing about the ISUPK since 1969, we've been following the Bible to the T. We haven't branched off to do the lustful things that we've wanted to do, but we do have other groups that has done that. The Christian Church has done it. You see, the Muslim mosque and Islam has done it. The only people that we know on this earth, that I know on this earth, that stayed true is the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hana.
Right. You know, so get a brother a hand. Anything else on this one? IG?
If I could, sir. I couldn't even focus on the topic of the conversation due to his voice. It's like he tried to hypnotize you with that church voice. Oh my God, it's terrible. Some Christianity just got some terrible witchcraft on top of it.
What you say is so crazy. Like that's how all pastors talk now. You know, they want to deepen their voice and like kind of sing their words and make it seem like it's a melody of some sorts. You understand? To try to that's like a serenation. You understand? Oh, and the Lord, and how at the end they be like, and God. You understand? They always try to put that little emphasis on words or phrases to make you think like that's just how holy men are supposed to talk. You understand? But I have a rude awakening for you, people in America, blacks, men, Native Indians. The real prophets of the Lord talk like niggas, just like you.
That's right.
You understand? The Bible was written in the tongue of niggas. And that's just how it goes. That's why you can't understand half the scriptures, because you got the white man's language in your mind. You got the white man's mannerisms and his philosophies in your mind. That's why you can't understand the Bible, because you don't even know what it is to be a real black person. When I mean a real black person, I mean an Israelite. You understand? Of course, the color on your skin, wash that away. You understand? That's irrelevant. You are done?
If I could, sir, just one more on this one. Because, you know what I'm saying, when it comes down to stuff like that, this is the reason why, you know what I'm saying, like people don't understand. Like when you come in contact with the ISUPK, you know what I'm saying, you're a black, Hispanic, Native Indian. We not, you know what I'm saying, mugging you, trying to, you know, oh, you a Muslim, so I ain't gonna have a proper conversation with you. We look at you as our brother, you know what I'm saying, and we can have a conversation. And if you go to the Bible, you know what I'm saying, and you go to the Quran and you want to battle, you can have that too. You can have it your way, because we not gonna, you know, just back down to anybody, but we can have a cordial conversation and, you know what I'm saying, get to the bottom of things. And that's what these things would be more important than, you know what I'm saying, us, you know what I'm saying, just talking about each other's downfall when we among each other. If anybody have come in contact with the ISUPK under Commander Junior Hana, you know what I'm saying, when we go out to these events, anybody would tell you, you know what I'm saying, these are just brothers. You know what I'm saying? They have excellent conversations. You know what I'm saying? It's not all about just beating another person down, but when it comes down to the truth, you have to be willing to accept the truth for what it is. You know what I'm saying? The truth ain't gonna always sound good to you, and you know what I'm saying, and be pleasant to your ears like Martin Luther King singing to you. You know what I'm saying?
That's the one thing. You're right, Yardon. One thing is like the same, like Captain on Quad, and of course, all the brothers in school always say, the truth is like a medicine. You understand? It might not taste good. It might not feel good when you have to take down that bottle of NyQuil or Dayquil. You understand? But at the end of the day, it's for your health. So make sure your life is better, even though it might not feel good. You might not want to take it. I know I hate taking medicine. I'm just gonna be straightforward. If I'm sick, I'm gonna ride it out until I feel better. That's just me, unless like I gotta go to the doctors or something like that. Let me not say this up in front of our our medic over here. He's gonna say I can't come to nothing. You understand? But that's the whole point of the truth. It's a medicine for you to be healthy. Right. You understand? You don't do these certain things so you don't get cancer. You don't do this so you don't get AIDS. You understand? You don't do this so you don't get shot. So things don't happen to you that might threaten your life. That's the point of the law, statutes, commandments, and so you can have a long life and live healthy. Right. You understand? That's medicine. That's the truth. We gotta start looking at that aspect of the truth instead of it taking away things from us.
Right. Like, if I may, real quick, and one more thing for that the video we watched, they made this portrayal on like we going through the same oppression and we going through the same this and going through the same that. But both of their religions involves another race of people basically being over them. Right. So you really being a hypocrite to what you're really preaching. You're preaching that, I'm in oppression and we going through the same struggles, but here you go with Christianity that allows the white man to be your daddy. You know what I'm saying? And even in being a Muslim, though, a white man, your daddy in that too. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what, that oppression that you're talking about, you really it's a big old hypocrisy, and you just saying words just to, just to gain favor and maybe gain money, from the people. So
give my hand. Yeah. At the end of the day, they just choosing a lesser of both evils.
Yeah,
you understand? They're just picking a different idol over the other. You understand? Because I want what we got next.
We got the one with the pastor asking the taxes.
I think this is the funniest one I ever think we got going on. The Christian church being a joke, part 135 million.
And counting.
I am asking that all church members bring a copy of your tax return so that I can review them. I'm going to put a stop to some of y'all playing in my face during tithes and offerings on Sunday morning.
Amen. Crazy. And they all pause it, Ron. We don't care what she got to go. Man, go ahead.
Oh, cute though. They all say amen. Usually the pastor got to say, let the church say amen first, but they all said amen without even having to say that.
He didn't even have to say close the door. You understand? They rocked with it. Go ahead, anyone. IG?
Man, Cap, I believe that very church, if the scandal came out that the pastor molested a little boy in the bathroom, and the pastor come on the mic and say, yeah, I did it, but I'm a change. They on amen. It's like it's something about that Christian church. That witchcraft is something strong. Like you got a hold on you like crack cocaine, to where the Christian pastor can get away with anything.
Do no evil. Look at the Pope. It was years and years of decades where the Pope was always in scandals and doing all these different types of things. Look at the Jewish man. Their whole religion starts off basically at birth with homosexuality. You understand? The first thing the Pope does when he sees a new baby is suck his rod.
That's crazy.
Literally, the first thing that he does when he sees a baby boy, says, I need to put my mouth on those genitals. And they find a way to justify it. That's how evil this society is, this world under the white man's rulership is that we can find a way to justify a whole grown man putting his mouth on the genitals of a newborn infant and call it godly. Like that right? Those words in any ears should disqualify all of the Jewish religions. Like, but they're so brainwashed, they accept it. I got Yardan first. Go ahead, Yardan.
Yeah, if I could, sir, just to piggyback on what you and IG was saying, you got Creflo Dollar years ago, you know what I'm saying, before Eddie Long died, and he telling people that came over to his church after it was found out that Eddie Long had molested them little boys. After it was, he said, you know what I'm saying, like life is like a car accident, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta forgive your pastors, you know what I'm saying? Don't throw rocks and you people remember what I'm talking about? Don't throw rocks, you know what I'm saying? Don't throw rocks in the glass house, y'all. Y'all gotta go back over there to y'all pastor. He telling people to leave his congregation. Don't come over here from his church to my church. Get up out of there. Go back over to your pastor.
Get molested again.
That's crazy work. IG, you have something else you want to say?
Slight, sir, to your point. With the Jewish cats, I just had to really just sit back and think about it. Like, okay, it's a dedicated job for a Jewish rabbi to put his mouth on a baby penis.
Right.
Like, that's his job.
He paid for it.
And
he gets looked at as if he's holy.
I don't know what else we can tell people. What else can we tell you?
The one thing we can tell you for sure is the white man the devil Bible speaks of, because he's been able to fool you on this watching this live. You understand? Of course, it's outside the school that it's okay for him to put his mouth on the genitals of a newborn baby. You understand? But it's wrong for when we speak up against Judaism. It's anti-Semitic then, huh? You get fined, you get taken away from your sports, your podcasts, your career, your name is in shambles, right? All because you talk bad about a religion that says, okay, I can put my mouth there. But we're wrong. That you see, you understand why we need the chapter of Romans, the book of Romans. You understand why the Lord talks about who changed the truth of God into a lie. You know, who's worshiping what? The creature over the creator. That's the whole point of Romans. It's to let you know that you a fool and you're following the Romans all over again. Because what were the Romans known for? What were they known for? Raj? You might want to speak up a little bit. You ain't got a mic, bro. You could just say it louder. Homosexuality. They were known for the whole LGBTQ movement. Movies like Spartacus and all that. You understand? It wasn't just that. They were way more vile in real life than they were portrayed on the movies. You understand? But everybody, black people, we don't read books. We don't study real history. What do? We base the truth off of what we see on the TV. And I know that because that's what I used to do when I was young. You understand, man? I saw it in a movie that the Romans, every time they lost a fight, the other one just had to hold the other one's genitals. But that wasn't just as far as they went. You understand? But I don't want to go too deep into it. I think you had your hand up.
So like I just
I got you next.
I just got to ask a question about this video, right? I see a couple brothers in there. My problem is like you got to be a real coward for a pastor to tell you as a man to go in your pockets to see what you made for a whole year. And then on top of that, if you single as a sister in there,
right?
How you go like you single, ain't got a man, but here enough a pastor can tell you to show you all the funds you done made for a whole year, so you can give it to him, and you running around without a head, somebody who head your household, but you let man. That's just total. Man, this is insane right here. This is insane.
Like we thought we were getting hustled before. You getting hustled like he just said no. The IRS didn't take enough from you. Go ahead,
I was gonna say the same thing you saying. Like these Christian pastors are becoming the biggest thugs on the face of the earth, right? Like they tell you to close the doors. They ain't letting nobody out the building without paying them their money. They tell you how much you got to pay.
2,000.
Yeah, 1,000 on 1,000. And now he telling you that you got to bring your tax return when that is a personal document between you and IRS. Like we can't even help people with they taxes at my slave. Like HR cannot help you with your taxes because your personal information on
Right. They can't make suggestions or
Right.
nothing. They have to just say this is what happens if you do that, but they can't say I would suggest. They're not allowed to do that because now you're impeding on a federal document for somebody else.
Yep.
Man, that's how. But the crazy thing is about what he said, what he was talking about. He's saying that they need to show their taxes so he can see which one of them isn't paying enough when the collection plate come around. You understand, man? This man got 10 racks back and he put $2 in the bucket. That's what he's doing. That means he's sitting there while they pass the collection plate while he spews garbage out his mouth saying, did you see Sydney? She just put $2 in it. She just made 10K this month. She got 10K. 25 per kid.
See all the kids.
You see all them starting those kids that I'm touching. Well, I'm only getting $2 per kid. That's how disgusting it is. Y'all can get yours first. I have my bowl.
So like if I just add one more thing to it, that's just like the white man does to us in our neighborhoods, right? You got the poorest neighborhoods. The poorest neighborhoods in America are Black and Hispanic neighborhoods due to the situation, the structure, right? But the same Christian churches in those same poor Black neighborhoods robbing the Black and Hispanic brothers and sisters out of the same money that the white man is already robbing you out of. So like that's why the Bible says you are like your father, the devil, because these Christian pastors are just like their daddy. You understand? They don't care about their own people. They just care about that money that they're going to get.
That's right.
You're right. You understand? And that's okay. We got two more on this. Raj, can we get the second one, Bubba Shaw? Yeah, is this the second one already? Yeah, part 2, please.
Tax returns that I requested. Thank you for your obedience. For those of you who did not do as I asked, I will deal with you all immediately after service. We gonna get this money where it needs to be, one way or another. Amen.
I'm an amen at the end. It's frustrating.
He forced it.
Amen. You know, come on, who wants to start that one off? This is irritating my soul, but it's hilarious. You already done?
If we could, man, I don't see no bigger pimps on the face of the earth than in the Christian church, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, like they gotta have a players ball at the Christian church, man. They the biggest pimps out there right now, man.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Don Bishop Magic 1, you know what I'm saying?
Someone grab me Isaiah 56:10.
They ain't got nothing on what these Christian pastors doing right now. This crazy work right here.
IG
slide, sir. I mean, we got all the masculinity in the world in our ISUBK, and we not strong arming nobody. Christian pastor is gay as all can be. He talking about I'm gonna deal with you later, and they running in there giving the money up.
Man, what's crazy work is like they're in line, like it's a concession, like they're going to vote or something. They weren't just handing like the slip; they were in yellow envelopes. Yeah, they're handing an envelope. Here's this, and then he has the audacity to check all the ones like, well, whoever ain't giving me yours, I'm gonna catch you in the back. That's even worse than a pimp. You understand? That's the most insane thing. Like that's worse than closing doors. That's worse than 1,000 on 1,000. You understand? He's trying to get like. You got to think like the saving grace for all lower class, which is majority of Blacks, Hispanics, Native Indians, is tax season. Why? Because that's the only time where we can feel a little bit less oppressed.
Right.
You understand? If you get the taxes back, of course. You understand? That's a saving grace for majority of us. I already know it. You know how hard it would be just for us to be. Well, of course it wouldn't be hard because the school was so beautiful. But we got Passover and all these other things, bills, life. You understand that happened. Passover demon is real. And I know a lot of brothers in the school are facing that Passover demon because the Lord Satan is going to do everything in his power to make sure you cannot go.
Right.
And what's the one thing that makes sure you can't go besides the brotherhood is them funds that we get from the IRS. If we get them, of course.
Right.
You understand? But those taxes are a saving grace for families, for single mothers, and all these different types and brothers out there in the world breaking their backs for the white society. Like that extra little 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 is another lifeline. You understand it? And obviously, the white man's so evil. He takes taxes all year out of every one of our checks, and we don't even technically see all of it.
Right.
You understand? Me personally, they're taking $600 a check. You understand? Yeah, I'm basically paying half of my income just to taxes. I might have filed wrong or something. You understand? But at the end of the day, that's like taxes are just a saving grace. From the white man's stolen money that has the audacity to pay you less than what he took. But if it's supposed to be a tax return, shouldn't I get the entire thing?
Right.
Imagine your taxes are being taxed. You get taxed on life savings. You get taxed on everything, and that's the white man's greed.
Right.
And because the white man's greed is so disgusting, the Christian pastors in the same spirit of the white man are doing the same damn thing. He's taxing your taxes.
That's crazy.
That was tax. You understand? Who's got the scripture for me? Isaiah 56, I believe, is 10 the one I want.
10. Yeah.
All right. Tax.
Donald Khan, Isaiah chapter 56, verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs.
Are what?
All dumb dogs.
You understand? It's saying our watchmen. Our watchmen are the ones that are supposed to be protecting the people from upcoming threats.
Right.
You understand? What's an upcoming threat, IG?
You said what's an upcoming threat?
Yeah.
You mean that's
on globally? World War III.
Yeah.
I had to be specifically so free my mind. Free my mind. World War III is at the horizon, but guess what they're not warning us about? They're not warning us about the World War coming up.
Right.
You understand? You gotta look at black people right now. They're comfortable still. You understand? Oh, so comfortable in their houses and eating their ramen noodles and going to Outback Steakhouse and getting everything beautiful in the world, but they're not paying attention to what's going on. Why? Because the watchmen that they've entrusted with their lives are what?
They are all dumb dogs.
They're dumb dogs. You understand? That pastor right there, a dumb dog. What was the name of the pastor that said 1,000 on 1,000? Anyone remember?
What was his name?
Or close the doors. Not Eddie Long.
Marvin Winans. Yeah.
Yeah. He's a dumb dog. You understand why? Because they're not going to make sure that people know that they're in danger.
Right.
They're going to make sure that they have all the resources in the world for when they see it. When this comes to them being dumb dogs, it's not saying they're dumb entirely. They're dumb dogs because they don't know how to fight back against the oppression at hand.
Right.
They're smart enough to extort you. They're extorting enough to get your taxes, your tithes. They're smart in that aspect, but they're not smart enough to make sure that you survive because they don't care.
Right.
And keep going.
They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber.
You understand? They just love to sleep. They don't want to have to face or worry about the troubles of the earth. You understand? As long as they're filling the linings of their pockets with the money that you're paying tithes with, they don't care.
Right.
You understand? Your Christian pastor is coming to your church and probably doesn't even live in your hood.
It's a fact.
Imagine that. Your pastor lives in the white neighborhood, the white picket fences, and is driving to the other side of the city or the state to teach you about the struggle.
Right.
About the struggle. Crocodile Dundee shoes. You understand? His nice suit and tie, his Rolls Royce, and his wife with a $50,000 wedding ring on her finger. And he's going to come to the south side and west sides of all ghettos and talk to you about the struggle that it takes to serve God.
If I could just piggyback on what you said, sir. Mike Epps, he was talking about him visiting TD Jake's house. And he was like, when he pulled up, he was like, this is what heaven gotta look like. Open up the gates, but he's like, when he go past the gates, it's a big old armed guard standing there with a big old assault rifle right there by the gates.
Hey, he had a watchman.
Right.
He got a watchman to protect him.
Definitely got a watchman.
You understand? Keep going, because I want.
Verse 11. Yea, they are greedy dogs.
They're what?
They are greedy dogs.
They're greedy dogs. You telling me that pastor was not getting enough to make sure his organization, his church, and his well-being was taken care of? You tell me that?
Oh, God.
You see how on point their amens were? That takes some time.
Oh,
You understand? You know how hard it is just to get us to do a Imam Shabbat in the right order?
Man.
We gotta suffer for 9-10 months at a time
Man.
just to get brothers to get the cadence down right.
Right.
You understand? And we're equipped soldiers. They ain't. You feel my point? But at the end of the day, they're making enough money. Why do you think there's so many churches in America in itself? I believe we looked it up not too long ago. There's like over 9,000 churches just in the state of Illinois alone. That's crazy. Well, how do you think they're all existing? Because money is not the issue. You understand? But this Christian pastor has the audacity to tell you, you're not paying enough in the collection plates, so I need you to run your taxes. I need to see the numbers that you make in the federal government of the United States of America. And based off of that, I'm going to deem it worthy if you're really a faithful follower or not. That's wild. Go ahead.
Hey, so like I said, and then if somebody come up too short, don't get it wrong. They will embarrass you in church. You know what I mean? I found out that brother Marcus, he only been coming in here dropping $20 every week in the plate. He make over $7,000 a month. Right? He don't love the Lord.
Man, just like the pastor did to that woman, that sister. She said, "I got 1,200." You understand? He said, but that's not what I asked for.
Right.
That's not what I said. I said 1,000 upon 1,000, which is 2,000. You feel me? He said, that's not enough. You don't have enough money to serve God, is what he just told her. And she said, I'll find a way. And guess what? A lot of people, well, of course, hopefully not her. Her finding a way is OnlyFans.
Right.
Finding a way is drug slinging.
Right.
You know, finding a way is doing some grotesque thing to our own people to make sure we can serve God. You all right, on?
If I could,
And then
if I could, it was a video. I know we ain't gonna go over this because we got enough video, but the video, the pastor had, you know what I'm saying, people lined up on the stage holding different things. You know, one was your mortgage, one was your phone bill, one was your light bill, you know what I'm saying, the different things like that. And he's like, this is the problem. You know what I'm saying? One said the Lord, you know what I'm saying? They look at it like, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, you paying your money into this Christian church, you paying the Lord. So somebody, if you decide to pay your mortgage before you pay your tithe, wow, that's what that's the problem right there. That's the problem right there. You know what I'm saying? You love your house more than you love the Lord. Good night.
He just guilt tripped his entire Christian church and saying they got to pay more money. You understand? The one thing that Black people need to understand is to serve the Lord, you don't need an income.
Right.
You understand? You don't need to be making money to love God.
That's right.
The Lord doesn't require you to make money. You know, but if you are, he's going to require something because he gave you the right. He gave you the ability to make the money. And he's not going to ask you for your tax returns.
Right.
The Lord just asks for a small 10%. Of course, depending on, you know, your lifestyle, 10% might be a lot. You understand? But guess what? The Lord's going to see the sacrifice you made. And when you make them sacrifices, which really not even a sacrifice, but at the end of the day, you only see the beautifulness of it when you're in the UPK.
Right.
Why? Because if you're paying those tithes and you end up struggling at the end of the month, you have someone or an entity that loves you enough to help you through that trial. You understand? That's all it is. The Lord is about basically a give and take. You give him what he requires, which is following the law, statutes, and commandments, pay your tithes, don't do this, so forth and so such. He's going to give you back what you need.
That's right.
It's that simple. But when you do it in the Christian church, you're not going to you're not going to be on the receiving end. You understand? You're just going to keep giving and giving and giving and get a song at the end of the day and then an excuse on why you're still not successful.
Right.
Maybe you're just not loving God enough.
Right.
You haven't given enough Hail Marys, or you understand? You haven't given enough tithes. You were short $800. You understand? That's the nastiness that the Christian church will make you feel is you're not good enough to serve God because you're broke.
And Salaki, so if I may, most of these pastors are competing. You know what I'm saying? Being a Christian pastor is a competition sport. You know what I'm saying? So they see the Creflo Dollars, the TD Jakes. You know what I'm saying? It's such and preacher such and such out here making mega millions and having them mega churches, and they all want to inspire to that. A lot of these cats grew up hearing about, you know what I'm saying, seeing the pastor drive the Cadillac, had a nice house, had a nice suits, and hearing about people's grandmothers spending their life savings. You know what I mean? So if they can get you to line up and show your taxes, show me your mortgage, show me your light bill, you know what I'm saying? They hoping to get the congregation where the grandmother will not pay her mortgage, where the grandmother let her miss out on meals and just suffer silently while she put all her money in the collection plate. You know what I mean? So they got into the racket of being a pastor with high hopes and dreams, and when they fall short, you know what I mean? When they card notice due, when it's time for their mortgage to come up, that's when they start making all these demands on the congregations.
So, like, if I can just piggyback off what he said, this reminds me of the movie Soul Food. Soul Food, the pastor came over every Sunday to eat. They gave him all this respect, but that house was in turmoil. Big Mama's house was finna go into foreclosure. The Christian, while you inviting him over and feeding him and catering and serving him, that same Christian pastor watched your whole family get destroyed and did nothing about it.
Yeah, I'm right. Damn right.
Facts. Man, and we're gonna keep loading on and discussing this of the Christian church real quick. We got one final video, Raj, if you could, Bubba Shah.
There's so much to discuss.
Sanity.
They gave so much. I mean, why he loads that up, sir?
Go ahead. One second, Raj.
What our people don't realize is that Christianity is the number one stronghold. You know what I'm saying? That keeps our people subdued and in oppression. It keeps us in a subservient mind state. It keeps us in a subservient spirit. It keeps our aspirations and ambitions down. You know what I'm saying? Because we've been told since slavery, you don't need to own nothing. You don't need to want for nothing. You get it all when you die.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to go up to heaven. You're going to live on a cloud. You're going to have wings and a halo. And you're going to get it all after you die. So don't worry about, you know what I'm saying, being anything until the pastor needs you to fill up that collection plate. You know what I'm saying? Then you got to be the greatest Christian on earth. Then you got to be the go-getter. Then you got to make some money. And if you don't feel that aspiration, then you less than dirt inside of that church.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Go ahead, Raj.
This is
I
don't know if you want to. I was just gonna say what this was about the sister who went off because the Christian church wouldn't
feel free.
do her funeral.
You can say it again.
Yeah. So this is the sister who went off. She was upset with the pastor for charging her loved ones because after they've been in his church for 55 years for a funeral.
Happened. So I just went up on the pastor, his wife, the deacon, the church, the whole congregation, if they had something to say. Do you understand me? So me and my cousin, we get to the church to plan, to let them know how we want to plan the service or whatnot. Now, mind you, my auntie and uncle been members of this church for over 55 years. They pay their tithes faithfully. So the pastor turns around and say, that's going to be $800. $800 for what, pastor? He said, well, you know that in order for us to preach this service and do a nice homegoing, the church got to cook, and I got to pay my ushers to clean up, and then I got to pay some of my deacons to come. I said, you got to pay them to come to a homegoing for your faithful members? I said, let me ask you something. Where the money at when they paid their tithes every Sunday? Where they money at when they paid for pastor anniversary?
Right.
Where they money at when they paid for church anniversary? Where they money at when you did fundraisers? Where they money at whenever you did these cookings and all this extra stuff? Where they money at when you needed something for your light bill? Where they money at when you needed something for your rent? Where they money at when your mama and your daddy passed? And the last time I checked, my auntie did the cooking, and my uncle was running around here trying to help get you a suit. These folks been members of your church since they was little kids, and they was watching you grow up. And you finna sit here and tell me your money hungry ass finna charge us to have a service here? I believe the hell not. I think it's kind of funny how you praise people and you love people when they sit in front of you. I say, because you get up there and you say everything that you know they want to hear. You don't preach nothing about God. All you preach about is the tithes and what somebody gonna do in building this church and building your house, getting you a brand new car. Little Tommy need to go to school. Your wife need a new hairdo or a wig. Your daughter needs surgery, and I need this and I need that. And Sister Johnson over there, she having problems in her home, and Sister Sarah over there, she having trouble walking, and I need y'all to raise some money for her medical bills. And I need for y'all to just
Man, I didn't think she was gonna go in like that.
Get us sister hand, sir.
She need a flyer. She need to come sit up on the podcast.
Yeah,
Right?
Yo, she got that pastor performance down. Pat. You know what I'm saying? And
That was awesome.
That's it. And the thing about it is, you know what I'm saying? She's facing the harsh reality of Black people following the so-called white man's religion instead of actually learning what their culture is. Because before this incident, if that sister would have came across the UPK, she'd have told us what, sir? We don't know the Bible. That we shouldn't say that about the church. You know what I mean? And she's not alone. You know what I mean? My aunt passed away, right? They had the big funeral and everything. They up there telling how much they love her, and everybody in the church is agreeing and amen and nodding their heads. And then a year later, show you how the Lord worked. I just happened to end up at that location at that church for my job. And I'm like, damn, I'm having deja vu. I walked in there, I'm like, okay, I'm talking to people. They, you know, so I talked to the administrator, they let me come up. And as I'm interacting with the people of the church, the pastors, the deacon, you know what I mean, the assistant pastor, whatever he was, I'm like, yeah, my aunt went here. And I keep saying her name, and they like, who? Who? Now keep in mind, my aunt and my uncle made very good money their whole life. You know what I'm saying? And she was faithful to that church for about 30, 40 years of her life. Paid tithes, did everything. She was there every Sunday, every event, dedicated her life to that church. And a year after she gone, who? Come on, man. That Slocky, sir.
No, I'm just gonna piggyback on what you were saying, Priest. I ain't want to cut you off, but she was a number to them. They was a number. You know what I'm saying? They know brother and sister Blase Skippy coming through. That's gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's another $2,000 a month, right there. Yep, $2,000 a month.
Yep. Man, it's 55 years, 34 years of dedicated to garbage.
Right.
Dedicated to, like the scriptures say, ravening wolves.
That's right.
That are just here to eat up all your resources. You understand? Imagine how much money we pay for our little 10% for the last 5, 10, 12 years for some of us. You understand? That's just the Lord's required 10. Imagine how much they've been spending to the Christian churches. God knows how much.
Right.
You feel my point? And I can only imagine, like she's saying, what's so heavy is that every time someone that the pastor knows, we need to raise this, donate for this. But whenever it comes down to an actual member of the church, it's, oh, you got to pay.
Right.
You got to pay for this. You got to pay for that. Like, the sister's right. The sister said nothing wrong in when she was talking and complaining about it, because they taking all the money in the world, but where is it going?
Right.
$420 billion in 30 plus years and more. Like I said, that was just a number from a decade ago. You understand? Where in the communities are going? 420 billion. That can buy like a state or two.
A state or two.
I'm just saying. I could buy a lot of America. You understand?
That's
But
more than a budget of a third world country.
yeah, that is a third world country.
Right. That's a lot.
You understand? Well, that's the point. It's like that's just in the Black Christian church. So that goes to show like why do the ghettos look like they do? Why do the barrios and the reservations and everywhere we dwell at, why do they look like where they do? Because all that money that we give to the pastors, it's never seen again.
Right.
Not by the people, not through events or conglomerates or charity purposes to the community.
Nope.
It's always towards the individual person that said, we need to pay the tithes, which is the pastor, the deacon, the reverend, even the choir boy is hustling you. You understand? At the end of the day, that money's going and filling up the pockets. That money, their couch is full, and then bed is full of $1, $10, $100 bills. You understand? Because at the end of the day, that money's got to go somewhere. It's got to go somewhere. And if it's not to you, it's to who? Obviously, the white man's going to take his cut, but who do you think is going to get it? The workman of the white man,
right?
Which is the man preaching the word. And that was another reason why they have all these other these black movies and so forth and so such, telling you, well, this man was put in the church because he needed to be the one to get you to say what you need to believe what you believe. Because if we heard it from the white man 300 years ago, we would never have listened.
Right.
You understand? He's bashing your teeth in, whipping your back, and SAing you and your rib.
Right.
You understand? He can't be the one to teach you the word of God out of his own mouth.
Right.
He needs someone of your ethnicity to teach the words. And that just carried on. And because of society's fulfillments and how far we've moved along technology-wise and society-wise, now we don't see the crimes of the white man.
Right.
We see the crimes as humanity.
Right.
And the same hustle from 300 plus years ago has been succeeding. So why would they stop? You don't change something that's not broke.
There you go.
You understand? If my alarm never beeps, I'm never going to change the battery.
Right. Fact.
My point. If my phone never dies, I don't need to charge it. Of course, that doesn't exist, but it's still. That was a bad analogy. That's why I had to change what I said. But that's the whole point. If it's not broke, don't fix it. The Christian church has never failed America. The pastors haven't failed their pockets or America. So that's one thing they're going to keep investing in.
That's right.
You understand? The same way cartels wash money, the white man's washing your money through your Christian church.
That's right. Oh, wait.
Let me get Kazawa real quick. Then I got you.
I just want to get these numbers because it's right on point of what you're saying.
Feel free.
So the economic output, the religious economy in the U.S. alone contributes to approximately $1.2 million annually just in America. Global standings, if the U.S. religious sector were a country, it would be the 15th largest economy in the world, surpassing the annual revenue of the top 10 global tech companies combined.
That's just nice.
That's just a
Black Christian church.
Yeah,
that's and before we get to my eye, and we think that our celebrities and our athletes make money,
man.
Like we see, oh yeah, he got a $50 million contract for 4 or 5 years. He got a $120 million contract, or they just made a lot, all these monies like Michael Jordan off of shoes. You think that's a lot of money? They ain't even hitting the realm of your Christian pastors. If you want to really think about it, they just flaunt their money in a different way. Christian pastors, they were doing generational money. Your athletes and your celebrities, they just want to live the beautiful lifestyle while they're on earth. You understand? Your Christian pastors just do enough to be comfy, love life, and pass that bread down because it's going somewhere.
Right.
They ain't buying, well, they are, but not all of them are buying $150,000 or $1 million mansions. I haven't seen a pastor besides like TD Jakes and the ones that are pushed into the world. But we talking about your average Christian pastor.
Right.
Your average Christian pastor is making way more than $150K. He making millions and you don't even know it. He taking the train. You understand? Like white people do when they rich.
Right.
You understand? Because they understand generation. They understand wealth. Wealth only stays wealth when you ain't spending it all.
Facts.
You understand? My yard, you had something in the yard.
Hey, Con. So I was gonna say what you're bringing out so heavy about the criminality of the Christian church. You know, the Christian church is one of the places where they clean up so much drug money your head would spin. And then everyone's thirsty to be a pastor and get there. Because think about this, so they make tithes and offerings mandatory. Right. So they come out, right? They put their tithe plate out, and you better put some money in there. Then they come out for the offerings. Now, offerings, as we know in the UPK, is supposed to be a free will offering and not mandatory. They say, no, it's mandatory. You know what I mean? And it's all tax-free money. That's the thing about it. We slave every day. A pastor work one day out of the week. Right. And he can make.
I didn't even think of that. That's a point. That's a point.
A pastor, a real successful pastor, work on Sunday. Out of the whole week, he worked 4 days a goddamn month, make thousands of dollars a month, and don't pay 1 penny in taxes. And all he got to do is get up to the congregation and say, "Hey, well, nigga, I'm gonna need that tax return. You short this week." Now, don't that sound to me? That sound like a pimp
named
drug that gone with con. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't even consider that. I'm thinking like days that we slave. It's once a week.
Once a week.
4 days a month. The Lord's got to kill some people. The Lord's got to put these Jones to death. And like just hearing those numbers before I get to you, Yardan, that's why the Lord said the riches of the people of Israel, paraphrasing, them making it into the kingdom of heaven is like putting a camel through the eye of a needle.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? The riches that they make in 4 days a month is more than we'd see in 60 years to 80 years of regular labor. That's crazy.
That's insane.
I didn't even think about that math.
That's insane.
All right. Okay. Hey. Thank the Lord that we ain't allowed to do what we want to do. Go ahead. All right. Like that makes you want to commit crime.
Mm-hmm.
Like that thought alone makes you want to commit violence to people like that. You understand? But of course, being righteous men of the Lord's going to deal with them in a harshest of manners. But so Yardan, go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, that's just speaking of the Black Christian church. If you go into these Methodist and these Catholic churches, they not only making that type of money, you know what I'm saying, and the services, they have pensions.
Right.
They have pension plans and things, contingents in the background just waiting on them whenever they retire. You know what I'm saying? So this is a luxurious life that these people is living on the expense of these neighborhoods that's destroyed around them.
Right.
And they come to work and they lavish cars, roll up in their lavish cars, go up in there like Lamont said, and for a couple of hours give people a motivation speech. Go on out there and get it. You know what I'm saying? And bring it on back home. And then we'll see you next week.
See you next week.
You. Before we move on to the last one, this was irritating. What you're saying about how they have like the money put to the side and all that, wasn't it Eddie Long that they found? Joel Osteen had money in the wall. Money in the wall. Like he's a cartel. Like he's a part of the cartel. That's the things you see in movies. But he did that. That's the type of money he had to the side,
right?
Because it untaxed,
right?
Already probably washed and all that good shit. And that's insanity. Your Christian pastors literally have so much money they had to hide it in the walls of the churches.
That's crazy.
I yield. Zion, where we going next?
Next story is Ari Lennox says she wastes her time. She wastes her time on toxic men.
Oh, nah.
You mean Ari? Ari?
All right, we got to hear how bad black men are again.
From her?
Well, isn't it from society? It's a society.
It is society, but from her?
Nah.
You?
Look at that smile.
Oh, Lord.
Evil.
Yeah, I know.
Little thing. I on that for some
time. Oh no.
I think I have a thing for toxic energy. So I think there's still some more healing that I need to do, because when I look back on all of these energies, it's a shame I gave them so much time and there were sweet energies that I didn't. And
pause. We just have to let everyone know this. You know what energies mean, right? Anyone want to give the PG or non-PG version of what energies mean? No, I'm saying, does anyone want to say it?
So the PG version,
PG or non, I don't care.
She gave up the box.
She gave the energies that she's seen was Rod. She's seen so many energies, so many different types of Rod. You understand? Toxic Rod at this, apparently.
Right.
You understand? Like, who says I felt this? I've had this many energies, I have this energy. Like, that's like,
all the energy.
just say you a hoe at this point. And I hate like to be so blunt, but sometimes you just need to get rid of the bullshit.
It's like you, sir. She's a free spirit.
Well, she's spirited away. That you got to get rid of the nonsense. You understand? Stop trying to water down your. No, there's a specific word I'm looking for, but I can't think of it.
Whoredom.
Yeah, whoredom was not the word, but it works. You understand? There we go. That was the word I was looking for.
Okay.
Promiscuity, or if I said it right.
Promiscuity.
That's what they're trying to wash away and try to say it's energy, it's feelings, and it's nature and chakras. No, it's Rod. Just say that.
Endless Rod.
You understand? Obviously, we're in a society where apparently body count don't matter. So stop being so subtle about it and just say you've been through a lot of men that never worked. Just say that. Obviously, it's a crime to shame women.
It's like so. But here's the sad part about this, because every couple years, a couple of these sisters that have ran the ride train, you know what I'm saying, jump off. They get off at the last stop. And they realize how ran through they have been, and they looking at all of the people around them, like their friends and their family members who one is famous. They get married, they got kids, they going on, and when they having all these beautiful lives, and yeah, you done dated rappers and ball players and all these other millionaires, and you got nothing at the end. Then they put this: I've learned my lesson. I'm trying to heal. I was wrong for being a pincushion. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. I was wrong. I should never have slept with 3,000 men in the past 7 years. You know what I mean? But I was young and impressionable, and I've changed my ways. And then 2 years later, you see them back on the ride train.
Well, come on, video.
It's a lot. There's one point out of what. One thing that I could get a sister is she at least she did recognize. We got Young Miami just came out and said she wished she was a young hoe again. She just
definitely said the words. She said that word, those words specifically.
If I could,
right, you did.
Well, shit, if I could, though.
I guess.
Remember Aisha Curry. You know what I'm saying? She was Steph Curry. She mad because she not getting the attention, and she was more famous than him when they first got together, and all the men not looking at her big watermelon head.
And the crazy thing is, like, they were.
Comic Con.
Like the niggas in the world do. They were. So shut up. At the end of the day, just shush.
Right.
Rosh.
Now we energy is getting married.
Dr. Z up. Okay.
And starting families. I'm just like, dang, that probably could have been me if I recognized the security in those individuals at the time. And like now, I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely feeling that now. I'm aware that there's something going on. There's something wrong.
What do you think it is that
So what she's basically saying, because she at least she came off honest in the beginning. Of course, she tried to hide the whole whoredom by saying energies, but she owned up to she has a thing for toxic men, meaning men that are not meant for wives, men that aren't made for committed relationships.
Right.
You understand? Men that are not good for her and everything like that. She understood that she's drawn to a certain type of male that has not been good for her, which is good. Akim, you gotta
keep it down.
Go somewhere else or keep it down. That's what we gotta at least take from that. She's owning up to her naivety, right? You're not.
Yeah, if I could too, and this shows the lack of education too, because you know what I'm saying, in the Bible, you know what I'm saying, it gives a prescription for a man and a woman.
Right.
That a wicked woman should be given into a wicked man.
Mhm.
So, you know what I'm saying, when you do, you know what I'm saying, seem to attract a certain thing, that's God's way of telling you what kind of person you are. You know what I'm saying? That's biblical.
That's like
IG.
Yeah, con sir. Sluggy to my sisters out there. I got to give y'all some tough love. A lot of y'all are just stupid until you're 40.
There you go.
Like you're so stupid. And then once you turn 40, all of a sudden you understand everything. Okay, you're out your prime now. Nobody wants you. You're 40.
Menopause brought the answer.
Menopause, you can't have babies. Of course, now you see the light. Now I want to be married with children. Do that in your prime.
Right.
Just settle down in your prime instead of being in your whole phase. It's like
Hey, IG, you give them a little too much credit with the 40, Priest.
I was about to say,
Vivica just admitted at 60, Priest.
They went into the last couple decades of life.
When wrinkles come, now they understand everything.
Right. They want to settle down when the Lord's about to settle them really far down. Let me say. Oh my God.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That's great. It's a lot. Obviously, Don pretty much said, I would say 40. 40, they might realize it, but they keep going strong. You know what I'm saying? The wise of them might finally settle down with a man somewhere, but we live in such a wicked society where, you know what I'm saying, our people have fully not just adopted, but absorbed the ways of the heathens. You know what I'm saying? And feasted on it for so long, it feels natural to it. So all their perversions, all their promiscuity, all of their fake nature loving, it's natural, free love, Horus speed, that chakras and all that crap, all that stuff is nothing but excuses to run around and be loose and have no morals. And then even Christianity, you know what I'm saying? It's okay, sister. You know what I'm saying? I know you just came from the strip club last night and you sold your body to 12 men. Go ahead and put something in that collection plate. You know what I'm saying? You're going to find you a husband, though. You just ain't found the right man. I mean, she just had the right 10 men. You know what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say, the woman, how many husbands have you had? She said, I don't have a husband. He said, you spoke right because you had several. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What you saying so heavy is that there's a ideal that society is given to women that they think they have a soulmate. Because they have that philosophy of a soulmate, meaning like someone that is just the epitome of whatever they have in the ideal mind. That if you don't check all 10 of the 10 boxes, then there has to be something better.
Right.
You understand? And then you have the white man coming right behind that saying, well, he needs to financially be able to do this. So that lowers the outcomes. You understand? But then as well, what do? They promote all types of sexual acts and deviancies to make a woman lust for feeling good, pleasurable in the act of coitus.
Right.
You understand? So now you have 3 separate things she's requiring at one time: a soulmate, sex, and money. And if she can't get, she can go from here. Oh, there's one box missing. Go here, he doesn't have enough money. Here, his rod's not big enough. Here, he's bad in bed. There's always a caveat to whoever she's with, because the standards of the men in the eyes of society is rising and rising and rising, especially with black women. You understand? As if I believe we're still going into what we were talking about with the 50-30K. You understand? That's the whole point, is that they're giving women a false reality or expectations to life and what a family and it takes to be in a partnership. We were partners in slavery.
Right.
We had nothing.
Right.
Like absolutely nothing. Picking cotton for free. Being beat for free. You were getting molested and assaulted by the white man every day. So was your husband.
Right.
But you managed to stay together through all that turmoil. So to say that a man's required, because a man didn't have power, he had no money, he had no resources, he couldn't even claim to make sure the kid was his because you were getting SA'd by the slave master.
Right.
The man didn't have anything, but they made sure to keep the black household together as much as we could when we were literally in bondage, physical chains. But now that we're, so-called free, we can't stay together. That's the most insane part. That a woman will, I wouldn't say insane because in our minds we know why. Because they knew they needed protection back then. They knew they needed a man back then. You understand? But in today's society, they say, "Oh, a man, independent woman, the feminine movement."
Right.
You understand? All women are going to school, so they're getting all the educations. You understand? So obviously, they have a higher possibility of success because women are so naive, as the whole point, Eve, that they don't understand that money isn't a true security.
Right.
You understand? I'm like, imagine this. We always say all the time when it comes to World War III, one good hacker. I just got robbed for $3,000 3 days ago. Me, straight out my bank account for trying to order my Passover tickets. They charged me 3 times and then told me the flights didn't even exist.
Right.
Took 3 racks right out of my bank account. That's my security.
Right.
You understand? It's that simple. Yeah, of course I'm getting the money back. Don't worry, Israel. Unless you want to, I'll raise a GoFundMe. But
right.
But at the end of the day, that's how easy it's to lose money. You understand? So women, all you simple women that believe the money's gonna make sure you're good, that's a false presumption. That's a false reality you got in your mind. That money is not your real protection. It's a help.
Right.
It is definitely a help. The scriptures say what about money? It's a defense. You understand? But guess what the real defense is? Your man. Your money's not going to shield you from a bullet.
Right.
Your money's not going to shield you from a gang of white militia groups and the KKK from coming and taking your box when you don't want it to be taken.
Right.
You understand? That money's not going to save you then. Your money's not going to save your children from being kidnapped and sold on auction blocks. Money's not going to do that. What is a black man in America, Hispanic, Native Indian man? Those are who's going to keep you safe.
Right.
Because those are the days that America is coming to. Race wars are coming to America.
Damn right.
You understand? Donald Trump has started the movement with ICE. ICE is coming for the Hispanics first. They've been focusing on Native Indians for God knows how long. They're coming for you black people in the South Side and West Sides of all metropolises in America. And that money's irrelevant.
Right.
You ain't gonna pay them off. Why? They make more than you do, dumbass.
Right.
They make more money than you.
God, sir.
You don't make nothing compared to the white man. Right. Black women, you gotta wake the hell up, or you're gonna keep being extorted and robbed like that sister was we just watched. You understand? So you better get a black man. Stop worrying about the pastor. Get a black man in the eyes. Okay, Raj, give him some.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Officer 1,000 Raj, go give this man some.
Right.
He'll protect you. He'll put his life on the line for you. You understand? That money to your Christian that you're giving to your pastor, give the Raj.
Damn right.
You understand? He's going to make sure you have all the resources in the world to survive these race wars in America soon to come.
Damn right, sir.
What we got next?
Kind of kind. Dwight first.
Yeah, water.
We got Dwight Howard's wife, Amy, says he's on drugs.
We didn't even finish our last video, but go ahead.
I can tell you what she said at the end. Womp 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 womp.
She took too many rides. She realized she messed up, and she's gonna keep following the same cycle.
Pretty much.
Which one of them on drugs? Is it her? Or him?
Dwight Howard.
That's his wife.
Or both.
Oh, ain't that the
We're about to
pot
find
calling the
out.
kettle black?
Slocky, before this start up, this is exactly what you were talking about. She got a man who has money.
Thank you. Thank you. If I'm not mistaken, I know she's gonna break down some of it now where you have the minute mark. Remember the minute mark? Let's go back I believe in the beginning, she says what has transpired beforehand of what they've lost and what she's went through. And then at the minute mark, she gives the reason why. If I'm not mistaken.
That's just a little bad. And I don't remember.
This is Dwight. This is before you push play. This is your NBA X star.
Right.
X, right?
Yeah.
Dwight Howard. I don't watch basketball. He just retired. Okay. This is your Dwight Howard, the NBA superstar of old. His wife. Here. Please.
To know me, you know I am so prideful and so private. It hurt me so bad to have to even protect myself in this type of way. But my marriage has landed me in a very dangerous position.
Please pause. I can't. I was going to let it rock. I was going to do it. But she kind of just validated my point 30, 40 seconds ago. She said this is her protection.
Right.
Crying on Facebook.
Right.
Well, maybe Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Worse. This is her protection. Crying to social media. Why? Because she chose what? Number one.
She chose money. She chose the finances over having a man with morality.
Thank you. Give man.
Right.
Give everyone raise their hand now. Y'all done, IG.
Look, hey. So you know, all the stories has been out about Dwight Howard.
Right.
Like Dwight Howard is a sexual deviant. You know what I'm saying? Like
facts.
Like you know what this brother is. You know what I'm saying? And for you to decide to be with this man is just you making a conscious decision. You know what I'm saying? To deal with somebody that don't have, like you said, don't have no sense of morality. They don't have a moral compass. And you sisters gonna realize sooner or later, or sooner than later, that you know having a man with a moral conscience is better than having you a rich man, you know what I'm saying, in a mansion that can give you 50,000 a month.
You
know,
right. Right.
Yeah, Counselor, I was gonna say the same thing Jordan saying. Dwight Howard has been a atrocious faggot for a long time. Even right now, he's playing basketball in Thailand.
Oh, no.
You know what they known for? Lady boys. That nigga over there for men's. And she gonna marry this nigga. Like, what you expect?
You understand? Money in the wrong hands or the wrong man's hands create Epsteins.
Damn right.
Create P. Diddy's.
Right.
Create Bill Cosby's.
Oh, God.
Who was it that peed on people?
R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. That's what money in the wrong hands of a man do. Lets them express their sexual deviancies and their wickedness. You understand? Money in the wrong person's hands will be can be the downfall of an entire nation.
Right.
It's in the scriptures. You understand? Money, women in the wrong hands of men could be the downfall of many nations. You understand? But money, like the scriptures say, is what? The root of all evil. You understand? Men will sell their brothers, their family members. They'll sacrifice cities and humanity and everything in itself just for a coin or a piece of paper that comes from a tree, which is the craziest part. But I just had to say that point. She's talking about this is my protection. Blew me. Please read. Oh, please read. Keep going, Rosh.
My stepdaughter was just taken by CPS because of her father. CPS and the police have been here 3 times in less than 3 months, and I stood in it with my husband, even though I was scared for my own self. Whatever he wanted me to say, whatever it was, I'm thinking this is my husband. I had everybody around me saying, even after I tried to divorce him the first time, everybody around me says, you can't leave your husband this soon. You said through sickness, through health, through this, you said through good or bad. That's why I came back, but this is going way too far. But it's not even about me. It's about the kids. The stuff that I have to go through with the kids. I have to be witnesses to. I'm at the police at the house. They asking me questions. I don't.
Move to that minute mark. So I just wanted to play the beginning so everyone understood like the concept of what's transpiring in this video. You understand? Obviously, something massive transpired.
Right.
You understand, between her and her husband, and the children were taken away. You understand? You already know CPS, they gonna be on the doorsteps of any small matter, especially when it comes to black people. You understand? Let alone ones with money. You understand, that have done something wrong. Of course, she hasn't said what was done wrong, but obviously you can see it's when a person gets on camera and records themselves crying, there's something wrong with them, or something massive has happened. You understand? Remember one?
Just to put it in perspective, they only been married since January of 2025.
So they're a little over a year.
14 months.
Right.
Exactly.
Damn.
Yeah.
Hey,
go ahead.
If I could,
Don't,
sir.
Don't skip ahead.
I'm not. No, I haven't seen the video.
Oh, beautiful.
I'm just going. This is my first time seeing it, and I'm looking at the sister, and what I see, because I worked in social services, all that stuff.
Right.
I see a person that's trying to, those tears, them dry tears that she crying, you know what I'm saying? Them crocodile tears, that's her pleading her case to try to make herself innocent of whatever this situation is. You know what I'm saying? The moment I see her, she talking about, oh, I wanted to leave him, but people told me to stay, and all this garbage that she's spitting out. You know what I mean? She tried to marry a rich man, and she, you know what I'm saying? And she wanted to stay on that gravy train and until the money ran out. And now the money is going over to some little lady boy in Thailand, and you mad. You know what I mean? But like I said, I don't know the situation, but all I see is a woman trying to plead out. So she's not caught up in the backlash of what she participated in. Salakia.
No, you ain't wrong. Let's go to that minute mark you had.
Our son to lie on me, and I had to record it, and it's this shit. I try to tell everybody he needs some help.
Good night.
Ain't nobody would have fucking listen because he got the money. I can say whatever y'all don't understand. I live with him. He needs some help.
That's a Scarface.
And this is it.
She finna snip it. Nah.
This is what I'm fucking losing my fucking marriage to. This shit. This shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was gonna run out the door.
She saw that, right?
He hit it.
That whole little time. Look, wow, put that
right there. Rewind it by 2 seconds, bro.
You can't fool them niggas from the street, shorty. So
put it 15 seconds back.
My bad.
Nah, yeah, I want to see this shit real. She couldn't have.
This is what I'm fucking losing my fucking marriage to. This shit.
And watch how she stuck her hand in
This
her
shit right here. I told everybody, y'all gotta help him. He is spiraling. I'm in here with him. I'm trying to love him through it. I was gonna run out the door.
She put that hand in the bag.
Okay. We don't know what she did with the hand, if there was anything on her hand.
Right.
You understand? We're not advocating that she's doing the narcotics. That's obviously a load of them in the car. The fact of the matter is that she's making a video of it with her in the car and trying to say she's not the problem.
Right.
You can't have that much narcotics in your vehicle and make a video of it without something transpiring. Like, you ain't helping the cause. Hopefully that's your sugar. But odds are it ain't.
She looked like Tanya.
You understand? But I'm just saying, like, oh, that's crazy. But I wanted to advocate and help the sister. Then she decided to bring out an 8-ball.
That ain't no 8-ball.
Yeah, she brought a bag of flour size of, fun powder.
That's the gold medal.
And now she's trying and blaming on her husband at the same time. This is what caused my issues because my husband bought this.
Right.
Why do you still have it? You understand? Like, that's Eve.
Good night.
Eve. Like, if I have a bad little daughter, I'm gonna nickname her Eve. I don't know. I ain't gonna put her on my baby. But IG,
man, if I could,
this
sir,
is insanity.
There's no way before she got married to this cat that she didn't know he was a drug addict.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So all the way up until you got married, he was clean, and then once y'all walked across the aisle, he pulled out the quarter ounce. And
Not obviously he had
got
the little device, the little salt shaker.
Right.
This is like my guy said. This is an act. She's a drug addict. He's a drug addict.
That's the
But
point.
something went wrong down the line, and now she need to get up out of there.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, and she ran off with his drugs.
And she ran off with the with the Tony Montana.
Man,
night.
Like it's a sad, harsh reality that we live in. That our children being taken away from us might be a good thing. You understand? Of course, this is because of the so-called white man. This is because the devil and Reagan pumped our communities with the drugs and the war drug movement gave us all these, narcotics or whatever the case may be. You understand? And of course, when you get to the upper echelon type of lifestyle, you decide to indulge in the things that they do because that's how they are.
Right.
You understand? If anyone's ever watched a series, Snowfall, you understand, how the game works. All these drugs came from the Jewish man and all that good stuff, and now it's around the society now. But it's sickening that the so-called white man is so cunning with his destruction of us, is that he brings our households and our families to be addicts.
Right.
And then once he creates the addict, he blames the addict and then takes the children to put in foster homes or the Epstein Island, for all you know. You understand? Or traffics or whatever the case may be. And it's just a sad thing. Like, a lot of people be like, it's good the child got away from that, which technically we would say that. But at the same time, it's like him going into the hands of the white man is even worse. It's like we always say, it's like we don't, lesser two evils. You don't want to choose an evil, but there's no other option for that child. You understand? If we had the authority, we take the child and we raise it up to be a beautiful little daughter or a strong young man into the ranks of the UPK and under the Lord. But because we don't have that type of authority, because we joined the white man, we got to know that child is going to be more destroyed than ever could be. Like, would it have a better chance with the drug addict parent? Or does it have a better chance in the foster homes of the white man? And that's the harsh reality that we live in America, is that you can't even tell if it's good or bad if they're staying with drug addicts.
Right.
Like like just fathom that. Like, it could be with two parents that are completely immersed into narcotics, or go to foster care and you don't know which one's worse.
That's a fact. It's a fact, sir.
And that is a curse. That is a people that have no knowledge of power, of direction, of self.
Right.
That's how lost we are. And when the Lord says that we're a lost people, a lost sheep, not knowing where to call home, that child literally has no idea where home might ever be.
Right.
And when it does go to home, it might be to those parents that adopted 5 kids and used them as slaves for 10 years.
Facts.
It can go to the Epstein Island. I hate saying it, the Epstein Island.
But it's facts, sir.
It can just be lost in the paperwork and end up on the streets, and then becomes a hoodlum. You feel my point? And that's why the white man in America must lose in this world.
Damn right.
Because that should never be an option.
Right.
It's like, if I may, I just wanted to add to it, the most prominent families that get these kids that's adopted like this is same-sex marriages. So that's what majority of these black kids that's getting taken out of these black homes, they're going to LGBTQ, the community, and it's destroying the black and Hispanic kids even more. Just being in that community.
Right.
Dad. Oh, okay. Anyone else on this topic?
Well, I'm gonna say that one of the sad parts about this situation, she just incriminated herself tremendously, by the way. But the thing about this situation here is what she has successfully done is show that they're both unfit parents. You know what I mean? Because, like you said, we already know Dwight Howard is a deviant. His appetites and dysfunction have been in the media for years now.
Right.
Now she's coming along, and I'm sorry, I recognize. I'm not saying the sister is, but from what my experience growing up as a young man in Chicago and doing the things that I did and witnessed, she has all the appearances of a drug addict. You know what I mean? I'm not saying the sister is. I'm just saying by appearances when she popped on the camera. Now, with that being said, what she just did was probably successfully just forfeit both of their parental rights, because your kids can go into foster care. And if they deem you both unfit parents, they can take your parental rights away from you, and it can be temporary or it can be very much so permanent. And you would never see your kids again. Your kids, a lot of kids disappear into the system, never to be seen by their friends or their family or their parents ever again. And like you said, so we found out in recent years, you know what I'm saying? Well, I've known, because I worked in foster care, and I heard a case where the parent company of DCFS and American Foster Care says was accused of child trafficking on an international level. Okay, so there were accusations over 20 years ago, you know what I mean? And now we're finding out all these kids with, like you said, the Epstein Island and things like that. So that sister right there, like you said, is it better to stay with your drug addict parents and hopefully one day they'll realize that, you know what I'm saying, they need to sober up and dry out? And then once they do that, a lot of times, I've seen it, they become some of the best parents on earth, because, you know, the guilt drives them. Now, where you had no moral value, you want to be the most moral person. You know what I'm saying? Or is it better to go into foster care and risk being trafficked across the U.S. and never seen again?
Two shitty paths that the child has no control over.
Kana Wakanda, all developed by the so-called white man who is the devil that the Bible speaks of.
Next up, Rosh, or because I want what's up?
Aisha Diaz responds to her backlash over 50K monthly allowance.
How many more topics do you have this?
Three
topics? Videos.
3 videos, I'm sorry.
What's the next one of this?
The Iran.
Do we want to go over this? We got about 15 minutes left.
We
only have one more topic technically after this. I just want to ask, because I know you two were the ones that advocated for this one. You still want it? We have enough time technically. All right, run it.
The nighttime girls might not be normal for you. For us, it's regular seeing
the nighttime girls.
$60,000. Now, for you, it might be $2,000, $5,000, or maybe you see that type of money in a year. The tax bracket that I'm on, it's not for everybody. My bills, not everybody has those bills. And I know people, girls actually, that have bigger bills than me. So if their man required them to sit down, I think that it's only fair to get double. What am I going to do if you pay my bills and my bills only? Where's my emergency money? What if something happens to you? Regardless of the number, if it's 50, 20, 10, if you want your girl to stop working, you need to give her double her bills. Emergency happens. You guys want to get up and leave us with nothing. And here we are jobless, haven't worked in years, and we have to start from scratch. Oh, you should have some money saved up. Okay, how am I going to have money saved up if you only give me enough just to pay the bills? What?
Who's coming to my party?
Yeah, that's good night. So, if I could, so let me.
You can.
She's saying she gets $50,000 a month, a week.
She gets 30,000 a month, 30,000 to 50,000.
She says she requires 50,000 a month.
$50,000 a month.
That's my salary.
That's. I mean, come on.
That's crazy. Is that
how? I mean, but and then she's talking about her bills. I'm not finna call it the B word. But how? What the hell are you doing that you got bills that equal up to $50,000 goddamn dollars a month, and you can't stack no money away, you can't save nothing. Not only are you selling yourself, but you are irresponsible, you're childish, you're neglectful, you're wasteful. You are regardless if you're attractive or not, you are a complete and total disgusting monster of a human being. There's people out here literally, it's black people on the reservation are starving right now. People in the barrio and in the ghetto are starving right now. And like you said, so she's getting a month to sleep with a man, what most people struggle to make in a year. And she wants to complain. If you leave, then I need to be taken care of because I ain't worked in however many years. Get up off your lazy ass and go get some qualifications. How about that $50,000 a month while you sitting around waiting to earn it like a good old, and waiting to earn it on your back like the good old fashioned way that America taught women to do? Why don't you put that money towards a college education? Why don't you put that money towards some type of high-end trade school, opening a small business, doing something constructive and creative? So not only do you have a backup plan and can make money on your own, maybe you can actually hire some of your brothers and sisters and change some of this damn destruction in our neighborhoods. Salaki, sir.
IG?
Con. I heard the sister say in the video that a man don't want her to work. Who the fuck don't want you to work?
Right.
Bitch, go get a job. Like, okay, I understand if you at home and you taking care of kids, you know what I mean? Y'all got a lot of children running around you, but obviously she don't. Like, so you just got all the time in the world and you want for a monthly allowance of what are you bringing to the table besides pussy and nothing else?
That's it. That's a fact.
You already know,
man,
like
these brothers.
And I guarantee it probably don't be that good. I can go get better.
It was white man paying for this.
That
I guarantee this is white man paying for this. Those old white rich men who want that little black or Hispanic woman that looks pretty, they the ones who paying for this woman to have $50,000 a month.
$50,000 for some used beat up box. I'm sorry.
To be a mistress.
These type of niggas that get pegged.
Right. That's what it's right. Kind with God.
Hey, I just too real.
He's telling the truth, though.
Is there a Too Real podcast somewhere in the UPK? Because you might as well recruit IG. You understand? But we gotta think. That's the type of way you gotta think. You understand? That's definitely one of the reasons UPK is hated so much, is because we don't spare feelings
at all.
You understand? This is a hoe. You understand? She's just another trollop. You understand? That's saying that she needs this amount of money for her to be in a relationship. She's just an expensive prostitute.
That's all.
You understand? Once you require finances to be a certain thing, you have sold yourself. You understand? You're a prostitute. She's sold herself to be in a relationship. Relationship come with what? Sex. So now she's a sex worker. You understand? We work at our little slaveries. Yes, we sell ourselves, but we're mechanics.
Right.
We're real estate salesmen. You understand? That's different. She's selling herself for a relationship which requires intimacy, sexual relations, so she's a prostitute. That's just a byproduct of what you is. Hate it or like it, it's a fact. You understand? But then you want to go into the heavier aspect, is what a woman's supposed to do, bring it to the table. Of course, 99.93% of women on this earth are not Proverbs 31 type of women. You understand? I hate to say it. You're not sisters. You're just trollops. But at the end of the day, there is a way a woman can be a very good wife, even though she doesn't slave. You understand? What she's supposed to do? Make investments.
Right.
You understand? All these people be like, I'm an entrepreneur and all this nonsense. That's fine. Be an entrepreneur, but don't be a trollop while you do it.
Right.
You understand? If you don't have a 9-to-5, you don't have your own work schedule or your own business, go invest. That's what the scripture say, right? Either the woman she'll be making things with her hands, or she'll find a vineyard and purchase it.
Right.
Is that not in Proverbs 31? Meaning what she do? She used her husband's resources because he's known well, meaning he's a well-known man of the Lord, of course, in this scenario. And she does what? She uses the resources that he has and goes and invests, buys land, becomes a winery or becomes a orchard or something that can be profitable. That is a woman's job. If she wants to be home and do majority of nothing, beautiful. The men have no problem with women being stay-at-home wives as long as they are able to withhold and maintain the required bills that it takes to survive. Men have no problem with that. We're providers, as you women like to say. You understand? But money isn't the only thing we provide. Just get that out the way. Men provide way more than finances, but we will. We have no problem. You understand? Because why? We're the smarter one. I hate to say it. I don't hate to say it. I like to be boastful. You understand? Not saying women don't have their own intelligence. Overall, the man was put in charge for a reason.
Right.
You understand? Don't blame us. Take that up with God. You understand? But at the end of the day, you women, you have very many useful traits. We will never knock that. We will never say sisters are irrelevant.
Right.
You understand? But women, you have to understand where your true worth lies. It might not be working a 9 to 5. It's not. Attention spans are lacking. Decision-making skills can somewhat need some a little bit of guidance, which is what we're here for, is to make sure the family and you go the right way. But invest. Your money, man's making money, use that money, go invest it in something. It might be something small. If you're broke and you got your taxes back this year, guess what you can do? Go buy a vending machine for $1,000. Go to Costco, buy a shit ton of snacks. Find somewhere to put it. It's an investment.
Facts.
Do that multiple times. Now you might have, now you might be making what $1,500, $2,000 a month. Small businesses become what? Big businesses with the right moves. And that's what women need to understand. Like, stop being greedy leeches like this.
Right.
A greedy hoe leech that needs hundreds and fifties of thousands. She's asking for $600,000 a year.
That's ridiculous.
600,000
a year.
A year
to lay up in your crib.
Some NFL players don't make that. Even of course they're on the practice squad. But at the end of the day, this is what we live in with women that think that they just deserve this much because they have a store-bought box. Store-bought box. It's not even natural. Not even natural. She got Botox, makeup, weave, a BBL, a tummy tuck. Like, well, now at this point, I see why you're worth so much because I'm paying the doctor. You understand? But at the end of the day, I'm not trying to knock sisters because we love Black women, Hispanic, Native Indian women up in here. You understand? Right. Hashtag much polygamy.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we need to understand women, stop acting like y'all just, your shit don't stink.
Right.
You understand? The scriptures say there's something about a very virtuous woman. Well, you wouldn't know where I'm going with this. She's so precious and soft. There's something that she does not do. What is it, Yardan?
For eventually to let her foot touch the
Her
ground.
foot doesn't even touch the ground.
Right.
And these gremlins and alley cats think that they are that type of woman. They're not.
They definitely are not.
You want to know what women are that type of women? The women in the CPK.
Damn right.
You understand? But even though they're so precious and great and their feet shouldn't touch the ground, they get to work regardless.
That's right.
Why? Because they know there's something more important than themselves, which is the nation of Israel. Blacks, Hispanic, Native Indians are more important to us as men in the school and the sisters in the school because they put their asses to work.
Right.
Do they not? We got the Passover. They're gonna put themselves to work. Kids party is nothing to play with. Ask your one kid's enough. You understand? You talking about a nation's worth of children.
Right.
These sisters are going to be put to work, and they are fine with that because it betters the nation.
Right.
You understand? The Midwest Fire Weekend's going to be upcoming after that.
Right.
And guess what us is going to be doing? Putting their asses to work. Why? Right. Because the nation is more important than how we feel.
Damn right.
You understand? Screw this trollop. What's next?
What should
Charles, I
Israel?
love that word.
What should Israel do? Israel massive damage.
If I could, sir,
please.
So, yeah, this is just an update on the war in Iran. It's kind of hard to get some like an update that's not propaganda.
I get
Right.
So this devil right here, he gives real good updates that's not influenced by the Western powers. So
Alright.
he gonna go into what's going on in Israel.
Breaking news, Israel was hit hard last night and they've taken a huge amount of damage by Iran. And the videos coming out from Tel Aviv show buildings completely destroyed, cars blown to pieces, dust scattered everywhere, etc. It looks like videos coming out of Gaza. Now, I will say, over the last few days, it's worth knowing that Israel has slowly allowed more and more people to get access to the internet. At first, Israel banned the access to the internet so that Israeli citizens couldn't share videos of things like this, like the damage. Well, there was a lot of backlash to that, and the Israeli government was actually risking being overthrown by shutting down the internet, as you'd expect. And so, in order to make people happy, they're gradually giving people more and more access to the internet. And with that, more and more videos are coming out showing the damage to Israel, like last night. And the videos we've got from last night show stuff we've never really seen before in Israel. And there is huge amounts of damage that they've taken. And genuinely, some of these videos are showing stuff that is so unusual that we're questioning whether it is videos of Gaza instead or AI because of how bad the damage is. But no, in a lot of these cases, these videos are real and Israel has taken a huge amount of damage. Iran has launched over 34 waves of missiles so far. So it's understandable that they're going to take quite a lot of damage. And it seems it's only going to get worse. So leave me a follow because I'm going to cover stuff.
All right.
Good
night. You can start off.
Yeah, come on, sir. So pretty much the United States and Israel, they just took too what's the metaphor? They bit off too much to chew.
They bit off more than they can chew.
More than they can chew.
Uh-huh.
And they got a fight that they wasn't prepared for. They thought they was gonna come in and throw a haymaker. And Iran gonna be asleep with one punch, but it turns out they was well prepared and waiting for them. And now they got tens of thousands of missiles, and they just sending wave after wave after wave. And you know, Israel and any surrounding U.S. bases just being destroyed.
Good night.
If I gotta say, IG, correct me if I'm wrong, the fact that Israel literally shut off the internet is massive
to hide the damage.
Yes, and to hide the damage is because there are things that they did not want us to see, meaning that they lost something important to them. Because if it was just in civilian neighborhoods on the south or just a pedestrian area, okay, they can screw America or screw Iran, all that type of stuff. But something must have gotten hit that they didn't want to be let loose.
If I could, sir, it's pretty much like the facade that the Western powers are invincible,
right?
And can't nothing happen to America, can't nothing happen to their allies, Great Britain, Israel. But meanwhile, Israel is looking like a third world country. So they don't want that to get out because now it's like, okay, you can punch the bully in his mouth,
right?
You can fight the bully back, and once these other countries see that, it's gonna be all in.
Wrap, man. And then let me give me the scripture where I believe in Genesis. I don't know in Genesis where it's talking about if you do unto the Esau, you get sevenfold. This is Genesis, huh? Yeah. Yeah. So what I like when I'm watching this, I see. You understand? For one, they had to give back the people of Israel the internet back. Why? Because if they withheld the internet for too long, they would have uproars. They wouldn't only be having to see a war on the forefront of Iran and the global war. They could have had a coup. You got to think, when you take away the resources of a people, that the internet is so relevant and prevalent to people's lives. If they take that away wholeheartedly and just say there's no more of that, they would bite back.
Right.
You would have riots. Of course, there's obviously bombs dropping, but you'll have riots. You'll have people going around and robbing and all this because once Esau, just because they're Jewish doesn't mean they're not Esau. As they like to say, they're different than the average white person. They're the same. They're the same damn white man
that we've known since the beginning of time.
Facts.
They're just a different tribe, and they just ended up being the ones to claim our nationality.
Right.
You understand? They just they caught a lick. You understand? Out of all the tribes of Esau that exist, they just caught the lick, which was able to take our identity and act as if they're up so high.
Right.
So they already like it's like, of course, you would now I ain't gonna say that reference is an anime reference, I wouldn't know. But, you understand? But that's how they feel.
Right.
But they're the same thing as Esau. And what we gotta understand is or think about as Black, Hispanic, and Indians, and when we read the scriptures, is that these laws and these things that transpire on the earth are because of the Bible, because of the Lord. So let me please read this, and then we can jump to other brothers' perspectives.
Book of Genesis, chapter 4, and verse 13.
Please.
And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whoever slayeth Cain.
Slayeth who?
Slayeth Cain.
You understand? For a little bit of history class, Cain, you understand, back in the day, he's the one that slew his brother Abel. You understand? He just a murderer, straight up murderer, and killed his brother. Go ahead.
Vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
You understand? And because of what Cain did, he became cursed on the land, meaning on the earth. And his curse was he was stripped of his melanin.
Right.
You understand? The same melanin that the so-called white man does not have. That's the curse that Cain had back in the day.
Right.
And throughout time and, populations and generations, that curse dwelled into an entire nation on this earth. You understand? So all so-called white people come from this man named Cain, or have received the same curse that this man Cain has received. And once he received this curse, he knew that whenever he was seen throughout the land, that all the people with melanin that existed on earth would see him as a criminal.
Right.
And because they knew he was a criminal, they wanted to get rid of him. Meaning that, well, he's a criminal. I don't want him in my city. I don't want him in my town. I don't want him in my house. So the best way to do that would be what? To unalive him.
Right.
You understand? Just a quick little yap to the throat or whatever the case. You understand? He'd be gone. But the Lord gave him mercy because our God is so great. He showed the first murderer recorded mercy. That's crazy.
That's a fact.
It's crazy to me, at least. I ain't the Lord. I ain't coming to Lord crazy, but it's like that's how great he is. You understand? Keep going.
And the Lord set a mark upon Cain,
yeah,
lest any finding him should kill him.
Right. Go ahead.
Oh, that's it on that.
Where's the curse upon if you hurt Cain?
That was the sevenfold. Vengeance shall be taken.
Oh, please read it one more time.
Come on, Salaki, sir. Therefore, the book of Genesis, chapter 4, and verse 15. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slayeth Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold.
You understand? Meaning that whoever unalives Cain or does harm unto Cain, meaning the so-called white man, he's going to receive that type of pain or that type of act sevenfold in retaliation.
Right.
You understand? Meaning that you shouldn't harm him, because if you do, you're going to feel it 7 times back. And that's what Iran's about to get. You understand? They went and bombed Israel. They're going to get that sevenfold. Why? Because the so-called Israel people, the Israelis over there, are descendants of Cain. You understand? And they are going to get that sevenfold. And that's going to be the same thing when bombs drop in Russia. That's going to be the same thing when bombs drop in America. You understand? All the so-called white races, whenever a bomb drops there, whoever sent that bomb needs to get back that sevenfold. That means as long as there's white-on-white crime, that's basically what's about to happen.
Right.
You understand? And then, of course, you got the Arabs and Chinese and all that. It's going to be nonstop. You understand? Basically, is one people going to fight against the white man, in quote, Iran just bombed Israel. Israel's going to do that back sevenfold.
Right.
They're not going to take that kindly. And then bombs going to drop either in Russia or here, so forth and so such. sevenfold again, then onefold, then sevenfold, then onefold, and now we're at nuclear bombs. You understand? And that's what we're about to see in the times of now. IG, do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, come on. Should Iran do this war? So if I could just real quick, so this is pretty much the same reporter is going over the new targets that Iran is targeting moving forward.
Breaking news, Iran just announced they're going to be attacking American and Israeli companies in the Middle East, and not just Israeli and American military assets. For something important, this comes in response to America and Israel targeting companies in Iran yesterday, like Iranian banks. Yeah, the US blew up Iranian banks, and because of that, Iran is responding in a similar way. Well, today, the Iranian government announced that any person in the Middle East should stay at least 1 kilometer away from any American and Israeli-linked companies. Some of these companies are Google, Microsoft, Amazon, Nvidia, Oracle, Palantir, etc., the biggest companies on the planet. And Iran has announced they're going to start targeting them wherever they are, whether it's the UAE, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Saudi Arabia, etc. Iran is going to bomb them. And so this is going to be one of the first examples of this starting to affect everyday life. The average person walking down the street could now be blown up because they're walking past an Amazon office building. Because of that, Iran has warned every person in the Middle East to stay at least 1 kilometer away from these companies' buildings. But because these companies are so big and because they're in cities, that's going to be pretty hard. And if Iran is serious about this, lots of civilians could die. Iran says this is simply them doing the same thing as what America and Israel are doing because they bombed Iranian banks yesterday. And so Iran is going to start targeting American banks, for example. Either way, though, this is still going to have some big consequences if what Iran is saying is true and it's what they're going to do. And if it does happen, which it definitely could, you'll be glad that you followed me because I will be the first one to keep you up to date on it.
Not if you in the locations and bombs. I'm like, he always like, I'm gonna do this. You don't know that. IG.
I ain't gonna lie to you, so I fuck with Iran for now. they doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? As far as actually being somebody that can fight America back. It's been so long in the planet Earth. I think that's what's so special about this whole conflict.
Right.
It's been so long for somebody to stand up to America and be like, I'm not just rolling over. It's damn near like, damn, when was the last time that happened?
Exactly.
Vietnam, 1972.
About.
So it's just
you believe in the 9/11.
Right.
Well, the Cold War, because Russia and the U.S. was at a standstill for years, and but the U.S. kind of won that one because Russia fell apart. They ran out of money.
Yeah, so it's been years, decades since somebody actually stood up to America. So we living in some blessed times right now.
Like you're saying, the beautiful thing is, of course, like the beautiful thing is when America and Israel did what they did to Iran is who they hit. If they just hit some random spots or whatever, and they didn't unalive the 2 top executive officials of the nation, basically, if those 2 survived, the politics could have changed. You understand? But in that aspect, you lose number 1 and number 2, you in a get back situation.
If I could, sir,
go ahead.
To your point, in response, Iran, they sent missiles to Netanyahu's home and they killed his brother. So they took the gloves off. They not
exactly.
They're not playing.
Exactly. Like when you're a political leader or you're in charge of a nation, you think through the consequences that might happen.
Right.
You understand? But when you lose number 1, and that's like us losing our president and our vice president. Do we even have a third? It'll
be
Secretary of War or something. Yeah, but it's like that individual isn't trained for those type of things. He's really not. President, or at least in America, our president ain't trained for nothing. But over there, it's like you lose number 1, number 2. You cannot just take that and turn your cheek like Christians would say.
Right.
You understand? That's something that is unacceptable. So you have to clap back. So like them hitting America and Israel hitting the number 1, number 2 of Iran was like a turning point of Iran saying, fuck that. In my opinion, at least.
But if I could, sir,
Please.
you right on target. It's reports coming out because what people don't know about Iran, I think is it Shiite or Sunni? Is one of
that's Shiite.
Shiite. That's the sect of Muslims that believe in martyrs.
Yeah, kind of God.
So pretty much, it's a report coming out that the I forgot his name, Supreme Leader, Hamid or whatever,
the son of
he made it obvious where he was at. He's 89 years old. He was at his home knowing that they was going to kill him. So he wanted to die.
He martyred himself.
He wanted to die.
He's about to anyway.
So you know what I mean? They just fell into the trap, and now they're engulfed into something that they just can't get out of.
You know, and that's a beautiful thing. Like people gotta think Trump did this on his own. You know, he didn't go to Congress or get approval or nothing, and that's why I want to support Trump. But you know, out of all the devils if we had to pick one,
he's the perfect one.
He's the perfect one to show up black people that the white man that nobody speaks of, and he's the perfect one to help fulfill the prophecies that are in these the scriptures.
Right, sir. That's right.
You understand? Did you want to play the last? I believe we have a third. We could use that as the last? We don't, or we don't. That's it. Anyone else have anyone want to say on this point? Nah. All right. So, as always, Israel, we appreciate everyone for tuning in to the Roundtable of Truth. You understand? Every Friday night. You understand? Unfortunately, Kamal Card wasn't able to make it, so I hope I did a little bit of justice to this podcast.
Yeah, right, sir.
You understand? So, with that, as always, we want to always give a big hand to the Most High in Christ for allowing us to come here every Friday and teach you the wisdom of the Lord. You understand? And bring these relevant topics to the nation of Israel, so we can get a little bit more edification and just a step closer to the right spirit of Christ before these bombs start dropping and he come back, Christ come back.
Right.
You understand? And secondly, we got to give it up to the Most High's right hand man, Jesus Christ, as what we know as Yahushua Mashiach in the Bible. You understand? Our King that has walked this earth and is just waiting to come liberate us. But he's not going to be able to come liberate us until we get our shit together.
That's right.
You understand? These bombs, all these things are beautiful, but the only time that he's going to come get us out this hellhole is when we start following the Most High by serving these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
You understand? Praying ain't going to get us up out of here. We've been swing low, sweet chariot for so long. We've been suffering and dying in America for so long, but there's an action we must commit, and we must commit to the Lord.
That's right.
You understand? And lastly, but definitely not least, the man on earth right now that has the plan to get us up out of this hellhole, commanding General Yohana. We always got to give reverence to that man because he's been holding it down for so long, and he deserves all the praise and relevance and everything that we can give him.
Right.
You understand? So with that, I'm gonna make sure these brothers on this podcast, you ain't forgetting their names. You understand? So we got to my close left, we got Officer 5,000 yard Don. You got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, if I could, sir. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget about the 57th annual Passover coming up.
That's
you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Pay your Passover fee. You know what I'm saying? Pay your tithes. You know what I'm saying? 10% of every increase that you earn goes to the man of the Lord, isupk.com. You know what I'm saying? Also, on top of that, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure everything that you have for Passover is squared away, including babysitting, you know what I'm saying, for the Black Party on Friday. You know what I'm saying? Make sure that everything is squared away for the Passover, and that's all I got. I don't want.
Right, sir.
To my far right, we got Officer 5,000. I will Gabar. Anything?
Yeah, Khan, sir. Just real quick. Real soon, we're gonna have the war report back up and popping. I damn near want to say war 2.0. You know what I mean? We adding some components to it. So it's gonna be better than ever. So you know what I mean, just keep a lookout for that.
So make sure to tune in, Israel. The Roundtable of Truth isn't every Friday night. You understand? We got so many exclusive side podcasts and clip hits and everything like that. Just make sure to tune into everything UPK Chicago, because we ain't gonna stop the work until ever.
Right.
You understand? So then I got to my far left, newly raised Officer 5000, my yacht. Give him a hand. We already know what you want to shout out. Feel free.
Hey, Kamakan, if I could, the ISU, and wherever you are in the world, go to isupk.com. Remember, I tell you all the time, ISUPK is not some local organization. You know what I'm saying? We are international. We are all over this world. So wherever you at, if you Black, Hispanic, or Native American, go to isupk.com. Find out where the nearest school in your area and start attending classes. We got classes Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. And then on Saturday, we have the Sabbath service. You know what I'm saying? Every Saturday from 10 to 12, we got the ISUBK Sabbath service where we break down the scriptures from Genesis to Revelations. We give you the ancient Hebrew, the Lashon Kodash, our original tongue, so you can actually learn your original language. You know what I'm saying? We give you the English translation and a proper scripture breakdown so you can see real Black history from ancient times.
That's right.
Your man. And last, definitely not least, up on the podcast right now, we got Officer 1000 Kazai. Any words?
Just one thing that I don't want nobody to forget: the Roundtable of Truth Cross the Line radio show and Let a Hebrew Speak will do a mega podcast at the Passover.
That's right. That's right.
April 1st. Make sure to tune in. You understand? It's going to be the podcast of all podcasts.
Right.
If you miss out, I just want you fucked up. That is be blunt about it. You understand? Then of course we got a heavy hitting crew on the media over there. We got Officer 1000 Rumble One. Did you want to shout out anybody over there? Nah. Then we got, obviously, I keep saying newly raised Officer 1000. This is the last week I'm gonna say any of that. You understand? Because now you have other ranks to fight for. Yeah, Officer 1000 Ra'ash Karab. Give him a hand. And as always, he brings in all the good drinks and all the good stuff. You understand? Act like he's just the coolest of cools. We got Officer 500. You understand? Not just the Yob. You understand? Then we got Officer 50 Rakamiala in the building. We got Officer 50. Anashwan there? Oh, I thought I saw Anashwan. Then we have Trooper Shalomawan that's in the building. You understand? I'm Officer 5000 Makiala, and this is the Roundtable of Truth under Commander General Hana and Captain Maul Quad. We'll catch you next week, Israel.